This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
Friday! Everybody, happy Friday!
Thank God it's Friday! It's Friday!
Oh, I've been working through the week, and frosted beer is what I seek. And when I see it's 5 o'clock, that's when my office will get locked. And so I will run out the door, cause I cannot take anymore. I'm sick of working, I confess, so alcohol I will request it. Happy hour, I'll be grinning, the weekend is beginning. All my troubles will get wiped out on Friday.
It's Friday, player. Get it on. That's right. Get down with it.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Buzz is back.
It's about time.
Only on KLAQ.
Right. Thank you. Good morning. Thanks, everybody. And welcome to our Friday show. It's the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Chock full of fun, excitement, giveaways, free prizes you can win today. Good morning, Joanna Barba.
Good morning, Buzz.
Because people listening can't see the configuration, it's back to normal.
Oh,
Joanna's in the producer studio. No Alberto. And, of course, Nico's going to be 20 or 30 minutes late. So everything's back to normal. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. People ask a lot when I meet them out on the street and the remotes or something, and they're like, so are you guys in the same studio? And I have such a hard time explaining, no, I'm in a different studio.
But I
and
can
Buzz
see
is
you.
another one. We could see each other.
There's a glass. I can see you, but you're in the other room. It's kind of a Frasier setup.
Yeah, there we go. That's exactly the example I use. I'm like, Frasier, I'm the Roz, and I'm in a different studio, and Buzz is in another one.
I like when you're in here. I think the listeners like it too. So
It's a lot of fun being in there. You guys have fun.
maybe you could swap with Nico. Nico could be in there.
He doesn't know how to run the board.
Also, I guess the show wouldn't go on until Nico gets here. So
That's true. Maybe if we put him in a big role like that, it would
That would
light
encourage-
a fire under him. No?
No. So Nico's the kind of guy, somebody once told him, you either lead, follow, or get out of the way. So Nico decided to get out of the way. And then the person had to come back and say, it was supposed to shame you into leading or following.
Were you that person that told him?
I'm just reenacting a scene from Idiocracy.
Idiocracy.
Yeah. I'm glad you caught that. Some great Luke Wilson's chops there. The Tyson-Paul fight is today. Mike
Fight
Tyson
night.
and Jake Paul, and I can't believe it.
Yeah.
They're treating this like a major sporting event. They got an article.
You should have seen the weigh-in last night.
Oh, I did.
Oh, snap.
Hold on. You want me to play it for
Yeah.
those listening? I don't think there's any profanity in here, but it's the weigh-in, and they're, facing off, and Tyson slaps Jake Paul right across the jaws. TMZ Sports. Just gave him a slap right across the chops there. But then, look, did you notice what Jake Paul does
He
after
threw
that?
little kissies.
He was making it like, it didn't even hurt. It was like a little tap on my face.
And then he's all like, mwah.
The El Paso Times has an article today where they tell you all the different places, bars that are going to be showing the fight. I guess for everybody who doesn't have Netflix.
Yeah, or if you want to just go out and see the fight somewhere, be in the company of other people, Buzz.
No.
People do that.
Not doing that. No, I'm going to watch it at home.
Hell yeah, in the comfort of my own home.
You got Netflix, right?
I do, yeah.
And you think everybody's going to gather around and watch it, or you think your
I
nephew's
didn't tell
going to have any
anybody.
interest in this?
Oh, my nephews do. Yeah, they like
They do.
boxing.
Okay. Well, this is
Also-
boxing adjacent.
Also, all of us in the house really agree. We just want to see Jake Paul get beaten. My nephews are like, yeah.
There are so many people who share that sentiment. I've heard from them on the neckline all week long.
So many memes that are like, we may not agree on politics, but I think we all agree. We want to see
Mike Tyson
knock
beat
out
the
Jake Paul.
snot out of Jake Paul. let me do the El Paso weather, the weekend forecast, and the golfers forecast brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. Today and tomorrow are going to be pretty gorgeous. Sunny today, near 80 for a high temperature, and light winds under 10 miles an hour. For tomorrow, partly cloudy. It's going to be 75. And winds in the afternoon might get up to 10 miles an hour, but they're going to be light otherwise. Then on Sunday, we got a pretty big front of rain moving through, so we're looking at 90% rain for the El Paso coverage area. That means it's going to rain, and it's going to rain on most of the city. Also, the temperature is going to plunge on Sunday with that rain system moving in. 60 is all we're going to get for a high temperature on Sunday, and then it looks like next week the highs are all going to be in the low to mid 60s for a change. Does it feel like fall to you yet?
No.
Yeah, because it's still like 80.
Yeah, I was wearing shorts yesterday.
Right. The golfers forecast is brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. You can set up all your tee times and reservations online at painteddunes.com. That's painteddunes.com. Also, the Turkey Shoot Tournament is on for November 23rd. Deadline to register is Monday. It's a two-person team, 666 format. You could win prizes. You might even win a turkey. Call the Pro Shop at Painted Dunes for more information. 915-821-2122 or painteddunes.com. Well, Joanna, you're going to do the Hollywood Cheese May today.
I will.
What do we have coming up on the Hollywood Cheese May?
We may have a new Lara Croft in the video game adaptation series that is written and executive produced by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I'll let you know who is in the final negotiations to be the next Lara Croft
Just tell me
Tomb Raider.
Tell me what the bra size is before I get all excited about
It doesn't
this.
matter. If they're not those cone-shaped bras from the original Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
I don't care. Bring that back.
Yeah, those are the classics right there.
The classics.
Wah, wah. We've got...
Actually, I will try and find out their bra size.
We've got a true crime report that we're gonna bring out on you early today. So, some people went and presented video of a bear attacking their car. So, because I guess there are tons of videos on YouTube of bears getting in people's car and just ripping it all to
bears going inside homes, helping themselves to foods.
So some people did that, but the police came over and were curious, and I'll tell you what they discovered when we get to a true crime report coming up later. Next Thursday, we're going to give away the Thanksgiving feast again. Congratulations to Mo and his family. Moises won yesterday. Courtesy of Rise Federal Credit Union, we've got this complete Thanksgiving meal. It's going to be brought to you the day before Thanksgiving. And it comes with, I found out, it comes with turkey and ham.
Yes, sir.
And all the sides and all the trimmings that you love. All the fixins. Catering by Con Amor by Bade, and courtesy of Rise Federal Credit Union. We'll give another one of those away on Thursday. Felipe Esparza is coming to El Paso, a comedian that we've known for 20 years or more. Felipe Esparza Plaza Theater, January 31st. Tickets are on sale now. And we're going to have some more tickets to give away for Felipe Esparza at the Plaza Theater, January 31st. Be listening for your chance to win. We've got today in sound clips on the way here in just a few minutes. Oh, and I guess RFK is going to be in charge of all the medicine hospitals and stuff, it looks like. Yeah, we'll have today in sound clips on the way in just a couple of minutes.
The Daily Calendar.
Today, November 15th.
Today is America Recycles Day, promoting making less waste. Ironically started in Texas and Florida. Alligators recycle everything. True story. It's I Love to Write Day.
Dear Diary.
Dear Diary.
Dear Dairy. And as you can hear, it's National Drummer Day. And it's Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day. One way to do that is just to eat everything. Like that bunt cake. It's Bunt Cake Day.
Now he bunts.
And that's your Daily Calendar.
Good morning, Chuck Armstrong here, and I will be along tonight at 7 to get your weekend off to a rockin' start with Loudwire Nights. Then tomorrow at 5, it's 2 hours of ultimate Metallica.
Be the change. Be the A-rated District of Champions.
Broadcasting in El Paso to El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
morning. I hope you're ready for the weekend. Hope if you don't have some plans, then I hope you plan to relax. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nico and Jimmy.
Good morning, Buzz. Do you have any plans for the weekend?
We're going to watch that Jake Paul fight later. I would invite you, but, there might be people there that you don't talk to, so.
Well, your ex/current girlfriend.
I would love to invite you, but...
How did she go from ex to current and back again?
There are not enough hours in this day for me to fully describe everything. I'm just now I'm starting to sort out the pieces.
Buzz is just barely like, what happened here?
Wasn't she a roommate that lived with us for a little bit with you for a long time?
Well, she was like a girl I was seeing who stayed over there quite frequently.
Are we doing this on air?
No. Thank you for reminding me. No, we're not doing it on air. Knock it off. What I am playing the Christmas music for.
Oh, yeah. What's this?
It is Light Up El Paso.
Woo!
All right, hand me a lighter.
Yeah. Where's that joint?
KLAQ and Town Square Media and First Light Federal Credit Union invite you to Light Up El Paso. You've got till December 20th to share photos of your most creative, most beautiful, breathtaking holiday displays. When you submit your photos, use the KLAQ mobile app to submit. You'll also find all the details and rules there for Light Up El Paso. Someone will win $1,000 just for showing off their decorations. It's brought to you by First Light Federal Credit Union, more than a financial institution where banking feels like family. Yeah, over at my family's house, all the pins, they got them on little chains so you can't take them with you.
Oh, really?
All right, you ready to do Today in Sound Clips?
Woo! Let's do it.
And now, Today in Sound Clips.
All of the day's news with accompanying sound bites and actualities, and we are going to start with the latest nominee. Trump nominates Robert Kennedy Jr. as Secretary of Health. Talking to NBC News, Robert F. Kennedy says that he would not take vaccines away from people.
I'm not going to take away anybody's vaccines. I've never been anti-vaccine.
You will not take any vaccine.
Robert F. Kennedy is the most famous anti-vaccine human being on the planet.
Take away anybody's vaccines. I've never been an anti-vaccine.
You will not take any vaccine that is currently on the market.
I'm not. If vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away.
All right, we'll see if he gets confirmed, which I guess probably he will.
No, honestly, I think this is the smartest pick for the Trump administration for a health advisor or somebody that's going to be in charge of the health services because we really want to see a comeback of smallpox. I mean,
I used to see people with polio all the time, and I don't see those anymore now that I'm an adult. So for nostalgia's sake, I guess.
Yeah, I think we need to bring back the old diseases and have those childhood things that people used to deal with. So yeah, we'll just bring polio and smallpox.
Get some whooping cough going on up in this hizzy.
I think it's a smart move.
This hizzy.
That's right. They auctioned off Alex Jones' InfoWars disinformation site in a bankruptcy auction.
Hilarious.
It was purchased by The Onion.
The Onion? What are you talking about?
The Onion News. Good Alex Jones impression.
Yeah, it was real good.
In a video posted on X last night, Alex Jones said a federal judge had blocked the sale of InfoWars to The Onion.
The judge had an emergency hearing today that we filed for at 8 a.m. this morning. It went on for several hours. He was extremely upset, the federal judge, Chris Lopez, and said this is not a real auction.
Well, it's coming from Alex Jones, so I'm going to assume the whole thing is bull. Alex Jones said a judge set a hearing to review the InfoWars auction.
So the judge says he hasn't set the date yet, next Monday or Tuesday. He said early next week, I think that's Monday or Tuesday, to have an evidentiary hearing on this. My lawyers and the real bidders' lawyers, who are very prestigious, said they've never heard of something like this.
The families of some of the Sandy Hook victims who Alex Jones sicked his mob of psychopaths on, had teamed up with The Onion to purchase the site at a discount. And Alex Jones is now saying that they're going to review that. But there was something I noticed yesterday on CNN. They had on the CEO, Ben Collins is the CEO of The Onion, and they had on the lawyer for the Sandy Hook organization, the gun safety organization.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what you're doing wrong. Here's what you're doing wrong. They were both total dweebs. They looked and sounded like nerds. You got to do what Fox does. You get some guy who's got like a military buzz cut haircut. His sleeves are rolled up just enough to see his badass tattoos. He's got bulgy biceps. You got to get those kind of guys on. Guys, this is America 2024.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No wussies.
Like looking good on TV and having badass tattoos is pretty much a cinch to get you Secretary of Defense at least, right? Got a couple other stories here. A man's dead body was found in a tanning bed at Planet Fitness after 3 days.
Ugh.
The man's body was found 3 days after he died in a tanning bed inside the Planet Fitness, or one of the Planet Fitness in Indianapolis.
Oh, did he set it to Donald Trump? He was like, I need this level of crispy.
Let's see. High, extra high, mega high, MAGA high. Elizabeth Len was at the gym before authorities got there, so I don't know if she was the one who discovered the body, but it sounds like she describes it.
Nobody ever thinks you're going to go to a gym on a Monday morning and, potentially be in the same building as a dead body. And I was kind of like sniffing, trying not to look crazy, but I was like, something smells really awful here. The first thing that kind of went off in my head was, lack of attention from the staff members at Planet Fitness, which is pretty disappointing because maybe it could have been prevented. And the tanning bed has a door, I believe. But still, why are we not concerned that the door has been closed for 3 days in a row, potentially?
I don't know. She's awfully giggly about finding a dead body inside her gym, though.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
Joanna?
It's like, oh my God, I couldn't believe I saw this. Yeah. I had to video it immediately.
I smelled it, and I thought it could have been some of our stinky members' feet. Moodang fever is not over, Joanna.
Yeah, Moodang. I love her.
You mean Bo and Yang?
No.
Bo and Yang should play Moodang. They haven't done that one yet, have they?
Yeah, they have.
No way.
Yes. Bo and Yang was Moodang.
The internet still isn't over Moodang, and Joanna, since you're a fan, could you tell everybody who Moodang is?
She is a pygmy hippo who has shot to viral fame because of how cute she is.
Mm-hmm. What attitude she has.
She's got sass.
Yeah.
She's got style. She's got flair.
She's got style. She's got flair.
Well, somebody wrote a catchy theme song. Where is Moodang? Which is it?
God, I want to say
what country
China?
at least?
Thailand. God.
All right, here's a clip of the Moodang theme song. I just want to remind, because Moodang is very cute. That's why people love Moodang,
cute.
right?
Yeah.
I just want to remind people, hippos look cute. Hungry hippos. Those hippos from Fantasia for ballet dancing.
Yeah.
Henrietta Hippo. They're all cute. In real life, they are deadly animals. Do not approach a hippo.
Moodang is so cute.
A company in the UK has created an AI grandma bot. And the purpose of the bot is to talk to phone scammers and waste as much time as possible.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
The bot is named Daisy. And if scammers ask for personal details, she'll give them fake details and keep them talking. You can't purchase it yet, but do you want to hear a few examples of the grandma bot in action?
Yeah, for sure.
Again, designed to waste as much telemarketers or scammers' time as possible.
So W is then a dot.
3 times W and then dot.
I think your profession is bothering people, right?
I'm just trying to have a little chat.
It's nearly been an hour.
Gosh, how time flies. It's showing me a picture of my cat, Fluffy.
It's showing you a picture of your cat, Fluffy.
Stop calling me dear, you stupid.
Got it, dear. Because while they're busy talking to me, they can't be scamming you. And let's face it, dear, I've got all the time in the world.
Oh, man. You cannot buy the Granny Bot yet. The company that created it is a mobile phone operator. They put numbers leading to Daisy on a lot of lists with scammers that they know scammers use for leads, right? So they've just released it like a virus into the scammer world.
That's kind of funny.
Hopefully the idea takes off and comes to Mexico. I mean, America. Let's see. Got a couple other stories. We've had roundabouts in El Paso for like 20 years now.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They really are. There were places where it was just almost impossible to get a left turn on certain times of the day because traffic, like, I'm sure every part of town has it. On the west side, it's Country Club, where you can't get in.
Well, it's because if you have a 4-way stop, but that's effective. But if you have lots of traffic that goes through, it is not effective.
Well, the one I'm talking about where they replaced it with a roundabout, it wasn't a 4-way stop. It was a 2-way stop. And if you were trying to get into the busy, anyway, the roundabout solved that problem like magic. But apparently Americans, or not all Americans, know how to use the roundabout. Somebody posted a video of a huge pickup truck almost crashing into their car because it never slowed down and drove into the roundabout in front of the other guy's car. So it turns out the guy in the truck who tells him, I would have crushed you because his truck was so much bigger, was in the wrong, okay? So here's the audio of these two guys arguing about it.
What are you honking at me for?
What the hell are you doing, dude?
Dude, that's not how that works. I have the straight. You were coming through here.
You have the yield, dude.
I don't have the yield. Everyone coming in has the yield.
You realize if I hit you, I would have just crushed your entire car, right?
There's nothing that I should have or could have done differently there. I didn't.
Check, you don't come straight across the intersection like that.
It's a roundabout.
Okay, so the guy who says I could have crushed your car was the guy who was in the wrong. He doesn't realize you've got to yield anytime you get into a roundabout.
Yeah, the people in the roundabout have the right of way.
Yeah, if the people who are in the roundabout, they have the right of way. Are people still this? Well, they must be, because people still don't know that when you turn and there are 2 left turn lanes, you've got to stay in your lane when you do that. You ever see people drifted? They I'm making a left turn. I'm just going to go wherever the hell I want to.
Yeah. That sounds like a very specific problem you've seen recently. There's somebody in my life that does not comprehend the idea of you've got to stay in your lane if there are 2 turn lanes. You can't stay in your lane. Is it your daughter?
Well, it's my daughter, but she inherited it from her other parent. I'll say that. Now I had to explain it. She had the same thing.
That's so funny.
So Pamela Anderson has a new movie coming out. It's called The Last Showgirl, in which Pamela Anderson plays an aging Las Vegas showgirl. And her show is shutting down after 30 years, and so it's a big crisis. But the reason I bring this up is because there is legitimate, at this point, Oscar buzz for Pamela Anderson's performance in The Last Showgirl. It could be one of those great comeback stories. Here is part of the trailer.
Places, please, for the final performance of the Razzle Dazzle.
I mean, Las Vegas used to treat us like movie stars. These costumes, sets. We were ambassadors for style and grace. The Las Vegas Showgirl.
It is going to be in select theaters December 13th, nationwide January 10th, but they are talking Oscar buzz for Pamela Anderson in The Last Showgirl. I guess my favorite performance by Pamela Anderson before that was, I'm going to say, Borat.
What was she? Oh, for the books. Oh, when he tried to steal her?
When he tries to steal Pamela Anderson.
Went for his bride.
And whoever she was with at the time, I don't know if it was Tommy Lee, or one of the others.
Kid Rock.
One of them. Whoever it was really, really angry that Pam Anderson had done the Borat movie. And they had UFO hearings yesterday.
Yes. So did you see?
So I really looked into
Boebert's questioning.
Oh no, that should be great. I got some of Nancy Mace questioning Lou Elizondo. So he's former. He worked in the Defense Department. Here's what I found out about Lou Elizondo. He's made a lot of claims, and they were not backed up. The Pentagon came out and said he did not work in this field for us, or he did not work in this area. And Lou Elizondo's response is, "Oh, they're disavowing me because my job was so top secret." So it gets into this thing where it's like, show the proof.
He did work for the government.
Yes, he worked for the government, but they don't back up some of his employment, which may be a thing that the government does. I used to watch Mission Impossible.
You will be disavowed.
You'll be disavowed if your participation is discovered. Here is Representative Nancy Mace during the testimony before a Congressional Committee on UAPs. Do you know UFOs are called UAPs now?
Mm-hmm.
Unidentified anomalous phenomenon.
It's not aerial?
No, I guess not. I mean, if it's an unidentified anomalous phenomenon, that could be ghost, that could be phantom lights, that could be
Loch Ness Monster.
Loch Ness Monster. I mean, it's really not a great descriptor. But here's Nancy Mace talking to Luis Elizondo.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Nancy Mace also asked Elizondo about government employees who have been allegedly injured by crashed UFO technology.
In your book, you mentioned government employees who've been injured by UAPs, placed on leave, and receiving government compensation for their injuries. Is that correct?
That is correct.
How can the government deny we have recovered craft if they're paying people because they've been injured by recovered craft?
Ma'am, that's a great question. That's why I think we're here again.
So the impression I got from Lou Elizondo is that he's, he has a background in science. He did work for the government. He did work for the Army counterintelligence. He did all of that stuff. But I also feel like he's a true believer. You know what I mean? When somebody's a true believer in something, they're willing to overlook contrary evidence. And that's kind of the feeling I get from Lou Elizondo, who also worked at Skinwalker Ranch trying to find evidence of cryptids. So,
do you want to pop me up? I got Lauren Boebert, I believe.
Yeah, let me hear this.
In this committee hearing, thank you, Madam Chair. Now that we have all been cautioned in this committee hearing that the mention of Pentagon's Immaculate Constellation program could put us on a list, well, I already find myself on many lists, I'm sure. So I speak my mind often, so why not just keep going with it? May as well just go all out and say it. The earth is flat, birds are government drones, and we've never set foot on the moon, and Joe Biden received 81 million votes in the 2020 election. So let's just see how many lists we could get on here today. But Mr. Schellenberger, I wanted to ask you...
Okay. Was that her being funny? I guess.
She goes on to ask about even crazier things about underwater alien bases. That was a legitimate question that she asked.
Those are real.
Do you want to hear her ask it?
I'm just kidding. They're not real. Yeah.
I think I understand from this hearing that you would agree that classifying information like this is not in the best interest of the people. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, with the caveat that, of course, I would support classification necessary to protect secrets essential to national security, but I think it's pretty obvious that there's overclassification.
Overclassification, yes. And so in most instances, if they can't tell us what, do you think at some point they'll at least tell us why?
I don't think this clip has or says the motion.
Okay. Anyway, here's the thing. When somebody reports what do they call it now? Unidentified
anomalous phenomenon.
There might be something there. There might be something that shows up on a tape. That doesn't mean it's aliens from another planet, though,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely not.
You know what? I got really into UFOs. I just got fascinated by them when I first heard about them when I was a kid, like 11, 12 years old. I would check books out of the school library.
Alien activity in Okmulgee, Oklahoma?
No, just in the world. I was just fascinated by it. And so my mom, of course, knew what the UFOs were, right?
Jesus.
No. According to her, demons.
Oh, dang.
And she told me to quit putting garbage in my head.
Your mom is more and more like
Here's why my mom said she never worries about the environment, right? Because if God tries to kill us, he'll do it. And if he doesn't want us dead, he won't do it. And I remember I was like 14. I said, would you cross the street with your eyes closed just because if God wanted you dead, he'd do it with a car?
Oh, my gosh. You told your mom that?
I got punished.
You better pray to the Lord when you see those flying saucers. It may be the coming of the judgment.
Oh, yeah. You remember when UFOs were just called flying saucers?
And there's no doubt of the trouble that's about. So I say, my friend, you'd better start to pray. You'd better pray to the Lord when you see those flying saucers. It may be the coming of the judgment day.
This is Double G. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, El Paso's best...
One dermatologist in psoriasis and visit skyrizzy.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY to learn more.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Joanna is going to have the Hollywood Cheese May in, I don't know, 10 minutes probably, 10, 15 minutes. Joanna's going to have the Hollywood Cheese May on the way for us. I've also got a true crime report that we will get to in the 7 o'clock hour. Nico, they put out a list of the most attractive bald men.
Yes, I saw that. I am number 32, it turns out.
No, I think it only goes to 20, and you're not in the top
But number
20.
one in our hearts always.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the publicly released list only goes to 20, but for a Bald is Beautiful organization I'm in it goes to 100.
Thought I would share with you some of these attractive bald men, and Danny DeVito made the list this year.
Yeah, I've been fighting him for a while.
Yeah. Q Connected is back. We don't have a conflict on Sunday, so we're going to have Q Connected back on Sunday, featuring new songs from Corey Marks. Corey Marks with special guest Sully Erna of Godsmack. Also, you're going to hear the new Linkin Park and Memphis Mayfire. Linkin Park announced some tour dates, and the announcement that I heard was Emily from Dead Sarah. What's her name?
Emily Armstrong.
Emily Armstrong. Is she related to Chuck Armstrong? Loudwire Nights. Daniel Paulus also puts the spotlight on some really talented local bands and regional bands like Father Wolf, Bloom Wave, and Glorious. That is Q Connected. 2 hours of nothing but the best new rock and a special focus on local rockers. Sundays 5 to 7 on 95.5 KLAQ. Felipe's coming in January. Felipe Esparza.
Yeah.
Who we knew well before he ever won Last Comic Standing.
I didn't.
You didn't know Felipe before that?
No.
Oh, I did. You got any good Felipe stories?
I have a lot of good Felipe stories.
Do you have any good Felipe stories you could tell on the air?
Yeah.
Didn't you randomly run into him in Boston or Rhode Island or something one time?
Providence, Rhode Island.
You just randomly ran into Felipe Esparza. That's weird.
Well, I had already been friends with him since he'd come to El Paso because I randomly ran into him at a Rudy's barbecue here in town when he was at the comic strip. And I went up to him and was like, "Hey, Mr. Esparza, big fan. Do you smoke out?"
Okay, there's such a thing as oversharing.
Is there? I mean, that's pretty legal now. It's legal.
The times they are a changing.
So then he was like,
let's just use euphemisms.
Anyway,
from now
so
on.
then he was like, "Yeah, fool, of course." And so then after that, a friendship blossomed.
How beautiful.
Yeah, well, we are doing Light Up El Paso this year.
So one time I'm driving my girlfriend back from school in her car to her place.
Was this before you became a stand-up comic, or had you just
I had already started, yeah, because I had met him already at Rudy's, and I saw him and his openers, who are my friends as well, walking down the sidewalk in Providence, Rhode Island. And I tell my girlfriend, hey, I'm about to do something real weird. I'm sorry about this. So I pull over right in front of them, and I go, what's up, fool?
What's up, fool?
And they're like...
Because that's what Felipe said.
Yeah, he's like, Nico? And so then he invited me to his show in Providence that night.
Uh-huh.
And then we went to his houseboat afterwards. He got a houseboat on the lake or in the ocean. And then he asked me, do you want to go with me to Boston tomorrow and open for me at the Beacon Theater?
That's a legendary venue.
I know, right?
Did you?
I was like, I'm here to see my girlfriend.
Was she standing right there?
She'd be really mad if I did this, but I really appreciate, like, maybe later, next time. Like,
Oh, no. Oh, I mean.
I know, right?
It didn't save the relationship.
Nothing saved it. We were always going to break up. It was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
What?
Not do it. Not do the gig.
And there wasn't a way that
You should have done the Beacon gig.
Yes.
done it and been like, oh, let me include also my girlfriend in this, or you
No,
just
she
knew
didn't.
she wouldn't be.
I knew she didn't get it. She barely even wanted me to go to the club that night to see him.
Did you go to the club?
Yeah,
But you didn't do the stand-up? You were there at the club, but you didn't take a spot?
He didn't ask me for a spot that night.
Oh, he just invited you to the show.
Yes.
So you didn't go to the show. I thought he had said you could.
No. He invited.
No.
Do you not get this?
Where did we lose you, honey?
Somewhere along the way.
I was in Providence, Rhode Island. I was not in Boston. I was in
He
Providence.
asked you to go to Boston, but you went to see him in Providence.
I
Okay. All right. I'm caught up. I'm caught up. I got it. Maybe.
I saw him in Providence. I went to the show in Providence, saw him, hung out with him in Providence at the comedy club there. I didn't do a spot.
Did your girlfriend not approve of your
No.
of your shift to comedy from
No.
the medical field?
No.
She was not one of your boosters
Not
as
at
far
all.
as your comedy career went.
Oh,
Not at all.
Nico.
Oh, see,
Yeah, not at all.
I felt like I was. I feel like I was getting to that. So Nico's parents and his girlfriend both did not want you to try comedy.
But I broke up with her. I should have said yes to the gig.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you should have.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was in Boston that he offered you some time on stage.
We were in Providence. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with? I never went to Boston.
But he said, "Do you want to come up to Boston and do a open for me at the Beacon Theater?"
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said no.
Yeah.
But we
got
were in
that.
Providence when he asked me that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that. But you said no because you didn't want to make your girlfriend mad.
Yeah, they say you should say yes to everything in comedy when you start.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not if you're a woman and you're sharing a room with Louis C.K.
Or Bill Cosby.
Or Bill Cosby.
I know a lot of comics who have done that with Louis C.K. that said yes to him. They were like, yeah, we don't care. This is a weird story.
All right. Well, we've got tickets, and we'll give those away now. Looks like we're probably up against a break, or are we clear,
Yeah,
Joanna?
we are up against it.
Well, Nico's story kind of,
But that was a real good story. I'm so sorry, Nico.
I know.
Yeah, Nico did all this comedy stuff, not only without support, but with the people closest to him actively telling him you're not
you
funny.
don't need to point that out.
No,
I'm
but
sure
it's-
he feels crappy.
It would go in his
I don't feel
biography.
fine. I don't feel
right?
crappy about it.
Wouldn't that go in your bio? If somebody wrote a biography, that would go in. It's like Nico received zero support from his parents.
You know what? Now they definitely support me. My parents. I have to
you
say
won
that
them
about-
over?
You know what's weird? My parents now ask to come out and see my gigs a lot, and like my mom legitimately wanted to see the gig in the Mountain Gods, and now I'm just weirded out by it. Because for so long,
True or false?
For so long, they hadn't wanted to, and I hadn't wanted them to see me.
Right,
That-
and now they do want to see you, and you don't know how to react.
I'm like,
Right.
what? No, this is weird. And they're like, we just want to support you.
Let's give tickets away. I'm going to play some Felipe Esparza. So as soon as we wrap this, as soon as we go to commercials, you can call in, be caller number 10. We'll give you tickets to see Felipe Esparza at the Plaza Theater. January 31st. Tickets are on sale now, but we're going to have some tickets to give away for Felipe Esparza, and we'll have some more later today. But caller number 10, Felipe Esparza won Last Comic Standing 7. This was all the way back in 2010.
Right.
When he won. So, caller number 10, here's the number you want to use. It's 915-910-4995, the regular studio line. It's 915-910-4995.
So how you guys doing tonight? Good? All right. I went to sleep with a real big girl one time. Well, who am I kidding? I'm Mexican many times. But this time I remembered. She woke up before me. She put on my t-shirt and my underwear. She was walking to the restroom. I was waking up looking at her. I thought that was me dying. I don't want to die.
Chuck here, and I am ready to throw the horns up on Loudwire Nights.
To sign up to be a sponsor at reddirtbbqbasin.com. That's reddirtbbqbasin.com.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Joanna has the Hollywood Cheese Man. Then I want to do the Mosho calendar and daily almanac of events. Then we'll take a break and come back. I got True Crime Report. Also, at some point, we're going to give you the latest details about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul tonight on Netflix. Tyson slapped Jake Paul.
Did you see
at their weigh-in?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
I guess people are treating this like an actual sporting event. All right. Here you go. Ew. I don't know why I'm going to watch this garbage.
I
but I'm
am
going
so
to.
excited for this.
Well, you know what's interesting?
I don't know why, but I'm excited.
You saw Mike Tyson in his prime fighting. So
yeah, for 13 seconds. I mean, he was knocking guys out like in 13 seconds of the first round.
44 of his 50, and I don't know what his record is, but 44 of them are knockouts.
Oh, when he was like 19 years old, he was knocking people out, like to the point where people were like, I wish he would knock people out so fast. I paid for because they used to have pay-per-view events even back then.
So his record in professional boxing is 50-6.
Yeah.
50 wins, 6 losses. 44 of the 50 are knockouts.
I'm telling
only
you,
6 wins.
He was knocking fools out left and right.
Boom.
And I've got it. People out there know, but I'm drawing a blank. When he finally got beat, Buster Douglas, I think it was Buster Douglas, nobody saw that coming because Mike Tyson had been knocking people out so quick. It was almost like a glitch in the Matrix when somebody actually beat Tyson. But Netflix tonight, the Times has a run-up like of all the bars that are going to be showing it and stuff. They're treating it like an actual sporting event. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know if this was yesterday or...
Joanna believes most people want to watch this in the hopes that Jake Paul
gets knocked the F out.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the reason I want to see it too. I don't know if this was yesterday, but there was a press conference with sports journalists, and I think one person was asking Paul, like, "Hey, if you say you want to be a real boxer, but when you're going to do a real fight with somebody, when you're going to do a real fight with somebody in your weight class, and not one of these gimmicks," and then he just looked at Mike Tyson and was like, "I think he's calling you a gimmick," and
did you call me a gimmick?
Well, then the journalist was like, "He's 58. What are you talking about?"
We got to seize the deal that's going to become available here in just a few hours. It's a dining deal that starts at 10 o'clock, $50 of food for just $25 this week from Rib Hut. They used to have dollar rib nights on either Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'd go down to the Rib Hut, the A-frame Rib Hut across from UTEP. We'd go down there and happily wait in the line. And you know how I feel about lines.
You hate them.
You had to wait in line to get those dollar ribs. It's Rib Hut for mouth-watering barbecue magic. Also burger, steak, chicken, even fried catfish. you could get a $50 certificate for just $25 to Rib Hut, and that's either the one on Mesa, Montana Avenue, or their new location at Westtown Marketplace. Rib Hut, nobody beats their meat. Take advantage of this dining deal when it goes live at 10 a.m. this morning. You can do that by going to KLAQ.com and clicking Dining Deals on the must-read bar, or the Dining Deals button on the KLAQ mobile app. Either way you do it, we only print up 100 of these certificates, and they are limited on a first-come, first-served basis. So 10 o'clock today, $50 of food for only $25 from Rib Hut, KLAQ.com, and the KLAQ mobile app to take advantage of this one.
Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna tells more.
Here is Joanna Barber with today's Hollywood Cheese. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Despite plenty of rumors about who will succeed Daniel Craig as the next James Bond, an actor has yet to be chosen. However, in a new interview with the independent Bond producers Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson offered some insight into the type of actor they'll be looking at. To start, they say Bond will be played by a man, so any talk of Bond being portrayed by a woman is inaccurate.
I got my fingers crossed for Jelly Roll. I hear he's got some chops.
Yeah, he's losing some weight. Yeah. Maybe he could be our next James Bond. The new actor, they say, will likely be in his 30s and must be prepared to commit to the role for at least a decade. While Daniel Craig was 38 when he was first cast as Bond.
But he looked old when he came out in the first Casino Royale. Yeah. I thought he was like, God, why did they get a guy 38? Who's almost 50? He's just kind of like rugged, Rugged looking.
Others like Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, and Pierce Brosnan were all in their early to mid 40s. Yeah. This time it seems the producers are aiming to skew a bit younger. Lastly, and perhaps the most intriguing, the producers say they wouldn't rule out casting a person of color. The most recent Bond film.
Here we go.
Oh, no. In the Hollywood and the woke agenda.
The woke agenda again.
The wokeness.
But we promise it will be a person with with XY chromosomes, right?
It will be a man.
Wait, okay. But get this, guys. Yes. How old do you think Sean Connery was when he played James Bond in Dr. No?
I don't know how old was he.
I would guess he was about 30. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank your money, Penny.
That's pretty young.
Yeah.
Everybody else was in their 40s, they're saying.
Right. They're saying Daniel Craig was 38, but I find that a little hard to believe that he was only 38.
Back in those days, men were like full-on men by the time they were 19. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, I don't even think of a 30-year-old as being a completely adult male anymore.
I don't either.
Right, I know you don't. Yeah, but with 30, that was like, wow, that's a seasoned man there.
He looked like a man.
Yeah.
That's what men look like.
That's what men look like.
The most recent Bond film, No Time to Die, was released in the fall of 2021. With a new actor yet to be cast, it seems the earliest a new Bond film could realistically hit theaters is 2026, which would make it one of the longest gaps between Bond films in the franchise's history.
I watched the Casino Royale, the first one with Daniel Craig, the other day. Mm-hmm. That was a really good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's really good movie.
And that was the theme of my prom.
Casino Royale?
Well, no, 007, because we graduated in 07.
Yeah.
And so for
and everything was like class of 007.
Every high school, I think, did that, because that was mine, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
But George Lazenby was 29 when he played James Bond. He looks old. I have a picture of him right now.
That you are like a big Bond lover.
I am a big Bond lover.
All men are big Bond lovers.
I've never seen a James Bond film.
Every woman wants him, and every man wants to be him.
Wait, that's Austin Powers.
Wait, I gotta write that down.
God, what if Joanna was willing to watch only one James Bond movie, but you got to pick it, which one would you pick?
Oh yeah, which one should I definitely watch?
I mean, if you want to go
Goldfinger,
like you'll watch Goldfinger, and you're gonna see oh, that's what the joke in Austin Powers.
I only know the songs.
Well, like Pussy Galore is in there, and
Goldfinger. That and Adele's.
He's the man.
Oh, I love
My
that.
name's Plenty. Plenty O'Toole. So they're really cheesy, and you're like, oh my God, it's ridiculous in the same way that Austin Powers was.
If you wanted me to introduce me to James Bond movies, which one should I definitely watch first?
Maybe GoldenEye with
Pierce
Brosnan.
I do love Pierce Brosnan. I think he is so handsome.
And they're kind of.
I'm gonna say
his era is kind of updated from the older ones that are kind of.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say: watch Casino Royale with Craig, right, and then watch the original with George Lazenby.
Okay.
And just to compare them, and then I guess just to see classic Bond in action, Dr. No, or Goldfinger.
Yeah,
there's a whole golf scene in Goldfinger.
That's what Buzz remembers.
Yeah.
The golf
No, I remember a lot of things.
If you want me to talk, you'll never do it. I'll never do it. No.
So should I call you Pussy or Miss Galore?
Okay.
I don't want you to talk, Mr. Bond.
I want you to die. Yes.
Maybe I'll start with Pierce Brosnan.
Well, you know what happened?
That guy.
You know what happened was like Thanksgiving and Christmas every year, TNN or TNT or one of those stations
do a marathon.
Yeah. So for me and my dad and my brother, it was like
because I usually switch over to Sci-Fi where they have a Twilight Zone marathon.
My dad liked James Bond movies.
I'm like, ugh, James Bond.
My dad liked James Bond, but my brother didn't have any interest in it, so that was like a me and dad thing. Whenever a James Bond movie would come out, yeah.
How nice.
Yeah, it was fun. Liked it.
Cute. The trailer for Hallmark's football-centric romantic comedy Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story, is now out. The movie will feature Jenna Bush Hager and Donna Kelsey's acting debut.
The former first daughter?
The former first daughter.
Jenna Bush Hager.
Yeah.
And Travis Kelce's mom.
And yes, their mom. That's her acting debut for this one. The pair showed off the trailer on the Today Show. The movie itself is about a woman played by Hunter King and her family who are devoted to the Chiefs. They are finalists in the team's Fan of the Year award, but the Chiefs director of fan engagement has to see for himself if Hunter is really a huge Chiefs fan. Chiefs coach Andy Reid also makes a cameo in the trailer. Here is a bit.
Does he play Santa Claus? With his frozen snot-sickle nose?
Here's a clip of the trailer.
Oh, yeah, I know who you are.
You do?
Yeah, the lucky Christmas hat.
We only get to the Super Bowl if someone in our family wears the hat on Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Do you not believe me?
I just need to see some of that Christmas magic for myself. Okay, that's pretty good. You didn't have the hat.
No, but we were talking about it.
Okay, so just clarify for me, neither one of the Kelsey brothers are going to be in it.
They say no.
And Taylor Swift isn't in it.
Definitely not Taylor Swift.
And Patrick Mahomes is in it.
But the mom is definitely in it, Donna Kelsey. Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story, hits Hallmark on November 30th.
Shame on you, Joanne. You haven't watched James Bond movie.
I'm a girl.
Buzz, you need to fix this.
Yeah.
I barely watched The Godfather for the first time like 2 years ago.
And?
Amazing.
Oh, you loved it, didn't you?
Oh, my God. Yesterday at the store at Walmart, I saw a shirt of The Godfather, and I almost bought it.
I'll tell you what, if you watch a James Bond movie, I'll watch with you a Hallmark Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, maybe, or whatever.
Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls.
Do you want to watch the Saw franchise with me?
No, I don't like those.
Well, if I'm watching James Bond, you should watch something I like.
Yeah, like a girly thing, like Gilmore
Watch
Girls.
Saw X.
I don't like Saw, man.
Oh, so good.
Just
he wants you to live. Okay. Anyway.
Hey, somebody in our app chat's asking how Chipotle was, Joanna.
Oh, Nico got me Chipotle yesterday. I had my first Chipotle.
I drove it. Buzz technically got it for us.
Thank you, Buzz, for the Chipotle. It was pretty good.
Right.
It wasn't bad.
Would you get a bowl?
A bowl.
She got a salad.
Yeah.
Salad bowl.
A salad bowl.
But with
meat and everything.
Chicken, and there was like a really good sauce on it. The sauce was the star of it, for
Did
sure.
you feel like it was a healthy lunch option?
Yeah,
because that's how they kind of
they call
position
a
it.
lifestyle bowl.
Okay.
It was a keto.
And it was real good. The sauce was good. I liked it. Thank you, Buzz.
Can I get a rock and roll lifestyle bowl? It's got like Quaaludes crushed up.
Can I tell you something I didn't tell you when I got it for you, Joanna?
What?
So at the Chipotle store, it was like training day for the newbies.
Really?
Yeah. So the person like making the bowl and then wrapping my burrito, he didn't really know how to wrap my burrito. So some woman came up behind him.
Showed him how to do it.
But like kind of
Like ghost style?
Like ghost style, put the arms around him to show him how to.
And in the back you heard, oh, my love.
I'm picturing it more like a guy giving somebody golf lessons.
Yeah.
You got to swing the hips.
You got to swing the hips.
Well, thanks for the Chipotle. It was pretty good. TJ Miller is reversing course on Ryan Reynolds and expressing interest in returning to Deadpool.
That guy seems like a bridge burner to me. I mean, I only know him sort of.
Right. Remember that time we interviewed him?
Completely drunk.
He was so drunk.
Yeah, he was pretty
so
drunk.
wasted.
TJ Miller and Ryan Reynolds had a falling out that resulted in Miller saying he would never work with Reynolds again. Miller, of course, played Weasel, the bartender in the first two Deadpool movies, but wasn't a part of Deadpool and Wolverine.
And he was killed off in the second one very unceremoniously.
Yeah, kind of,
He
right?
kind of got replaced by Peter.
Peter's, the star now. That said, Miller said that he is down for Deadpool 4 if it ever happens. Speaking on Sirius XM's The Bonfire, Miller revealed that he recently chatted with Reynolds, saying, quote, "We talked a little while ago. I think he's been such a good friend right now, and I think it would be really awesome to return for Deadpool 4.
I feel like about TJ Miller, like he was right on the precipice of becoming a really, really big star. I mean, he was the bad guy or one of the bad guys in Ready Player One. That was a major role. He was one of the best things about Silicon Valley.
Absolutely. Up until season 4, which is only 4 years.
And then it seems like he kind of derailed himself.
I think he did get brain surgery. Am I correct?
Really?
Yeah, and he's
No, I don't
blamed a
know about
lot
that.
of this behavior that, like the bomb threat. He called in a bomb threat at one point.
What?
Are you talking about the right guy? TJ Miller.
TJ Miller,
That's
dude.
what he's saying, yeah.
Did you? I guess you don't remember or follow any of the news, or I mean, you don't remember it right now. But TJ Miller called in a bomb threat. He was accused of a bunch of sexual assault things from a ex-girlfriend in college from years and years ago.
Yeah, you're right. I don't really remember all that.
And then he was acting out on stages, on interviews with people.
He was just going off the rails. Dang. Well, the rift came.
I bet it was that 12 ounce at a time brain surgery that, though.
What's that?
The what?
Oh, yeah, he was a drinker.
Yeah, he was totally drunk when we interviewed him. The rift came about 2 years ago when Miller said that he was done with Reynolds on the Adam Carolla show, saying that in character as Deadpool, Reynolds was horrifically mean to him and said that he would never work with him again. But apparently Reynolds saw the interview and immediately reached out to Miller, and apparently the two are all good now.
I feel like Ryan Reynolds was probably riffing a lot and improvising and doing like really, you know, I mean.
Especially if you're in that character, you kind of have to keep that flow going.
Yeah, I would think TJ Miller would understand that.
You would figure.
So TJ Miller says that a manic episode was at the crux of a fake bomb threat he called in to Amtrak trains.
Oh, no.
Oh, my
no,
God.
serious business. Amtrak.
Yeah. He said the situation worsened from April of 2018 when he said that the attacks in the media and online made him spin out.
Oh, well, that's not
He
good.
also said he had a brain tumor and a golf ball-sized piece of his frontal lobe removed. He said he grew up with a smaller brain than most because, like, some part didn't
When
never
did
develop.
he have that done?
That was in 20.
So he's saying I have part of my brain missing?
Yes. And he also says that part of his brain never developed.
Oof.
Wow. He could have been Secretary of Health and Human Services. Is there a worm in there, too?
Finally, Sophie Turner is currently in negotiations to star as adventurous archaeologist Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider series.
Who?
Sophie Turner.
He doesn't even remember
Is
her.
that the one who...
Game of Thrones.
Nah,
What's her name? And I don't know what she is in Game of Thrones.
her boobs aren't enough like giant cubes.
They're not triangle shaped. Well, this would be the Tomb Raider
Tomb
series
Raider.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Turner was reportedly among the top candidates who tested for the video game adaptation, which will stream on Prime Video. The 2001 and 2018 film entries in the franchise starred Angelina Jolie and Alicia Vikander.
Sansa. She played Sansa. God, how do we
Sansa.
forget this so fast?
Tomb Raider will be produced by video game studio Crystal Dynamics and Amazon MGM Studios, with Waller-Bridge set to write and produce.
You said Tomb Raider. I thought you said Womb Raider. That was the XXX version of Laura.
Womb Raider?
Yeah, Womb Raider.
I think it was. I think it was.
With your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
All right, we're going to get to a true crime report coming up here in just a few minutes. Who's the comedian at the comic strip this week, Nico?
We got Darren Carter, the party starter. Not only that, but he has taken the route so many comics need to these days, and he has become a viral phenomenon on Instagram, and he's really getting booked a lot for that. You know what's interesting is you see the people who take advantage of social media, and their careers are just skyrocketing, like Willie and Darren Carter. So
I refuse. I want to remain in stagnation.
Well, that's what's happening. So
we'll come back. Got a true crime report on the way, and Darren Carter later. And here's your late night roundup. Joanna puts this together early for us every morning, so we have a recap of highlights and funniest moments, memorable moments from late night television. Here we go.
Over in Germany, a sausage maker thinks he's found the answer to Germany's raccoon problem, turning the raccoons into sausages and other products, including what he calls raccoon balls. Look, Deutschland, you guys really need to get better at hiding what's in your meat products. Americans know how to do it. Are you telling me there's no German word for nugget?
An auto parts company in Sweden said this week that a moose wandered into its garage and trampled over 3 BMWs. The company says they deeply regret that the moose stopped at 3.
On Netflix, 58-year-old boxing legend Mike Tyson is coming out of retirement to fight 27-year-old YouTuber Jake Paul. The fight is on Netflix, so around the 5th round, I think we're going to find out that Mike Tyson is actually made of cake.
Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, Glenn Garza and Daniel Paulus.
All except for the money. Saratoga Homes helps you pay closing costs and lower your interest rate. That's pure gravy.
El Paso's own live and local, the Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
Comedy this weekend at the El Paso Comic Strip with the one and only Darren Carter, the party starter.
That's right. Good morning, Darren Carter, the party starter.
Good to see you, buddy. Been a little while.
Thank you, man. Very long time.
Let me just describe.
Yes. Describe it.
You're wearing a white Western shirt with the pearl snap buttons.
Yes, pearl snap buttons.
You've got the metal collar stays.
Yes, I got the metal collar stays.
You've got a Texas bolo tie with the state of Texas.
So snazzy.
And hold on, got cowboy boots and a cowboy hat.
Yes, sir.
You know Halloween was last month, right?
I'm dressed as my favorite character from Toy Story.
Now, are you doing TV this morning?
I don't even know if we're doing TV.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
If you're doing a costume, I really appreciate you doing it for radio.
It's nice. Hey, I'm not the brightest kid, all right? I only impress one guy. No.
And, of course, Brian Swinehart is here, too. Hi, Brian. How you doing, Swinehart?
Great, amazing. Good to see you again. Thanks for having me
Did
on.
you guys fly in or drive in?
I flew in yesterday, and he flew in from Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I flew in from L.A., yeah.
Is Puga in the room? I am. Hey, how about those Eagles last night, man? Eagles are going to be like a top.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
They might be a top 14. Yeah, we can hear you. No. Just as long as you can hear me, that's all that matters.
Oh, yeah.
I thought maybe the Commanders had their number last night.
Oh, well, thank God for Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley. Let me just play a little clip here because Saquon Barkley.
Thank you, New York Giants.
Yeah, thanks very much, New York Giants. Saquon Barkley scored 2 touchdowns. It says here in 20 seconds.
Wow.
For the Eagles. What happened?
So Saquon Barkley scores that first touchdown.
Yeah.
And then I believe the quarterback for the Commanders, I was going to call them the Redskins, the Commanders, threw an interception, and then the rest
They
is,
just handed it off, and he ran for it on the next play?
Sweep to the right and took it home.
On the ground, and a first down, and a ton more. Barkley, touchdown.
A few moments later.
Barkley,
Exactly.
does he have another one? Yes, he does. Touchdown.
Wow, Saquon Barkley. Now, Puga is a guy who tries to dress up as much like a Philadelphia guy as Carter does a Texas guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're like, what do they call like these video game characters? These non-player or whatever NPCs.
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
I'm a cowboy.
Are you, I got to do a true crime report. I promise the listeners we do one.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the police.
Actual crime stories from around the world and across the nation. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Appreciate it.
Stop breaking the law! Oh!
All right, let's take a look at what's going on in today's true crime report. Some guys in L.A. Do you still live in L.A.?
Yes.
Yeah, so some guys in L.A.
What'd they do now?
Well, some guys reported that a bear had gotten into their car, and they even provided the security footage of the bear destroying the car. 4 people in L.A. are facing insurance fraud charges after claiming a bear got into their 2010 Rolls Royce. They claimed it happened during a trip to Lake Arrowhead. However, the police went over, and guess what they turned up? A bear costume.
Oh, snap.
What are those? Are those meat hook?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's going on here. Officials launched an investigation called Operation Bear Claw. They got cooperation from a biologist at the California Department of Wildlife who watched the video and said, clearly, I can tell just by looking, that is a man in a bear suit.
Hey, Bobo, let's go to the Rolls Royce.
Let's get us a picnic basket in that Rolls Royce.
Gee, Yogi, it looks like a costume. Hey, never mind. I wear costumes just like Darren Carter and Hugo. Hey.
The scratch marks in the car also looked unusual to the biologist. It turns out that they were metal claws meant for shredding meat.
Wow.
Officials found the bear suit and the claws in one of the suspects' homes.
That's embarrassing.
This is the actual photo of what they discovered. As dumb as that plan may sound, it turns out that these individuals actually pulled it off twice before with 2 other cars. Both of those were Mercedes.
Wow.
The fraudulent claims in the previous cases netted them just over $140,000. So the bear costume gambit paid off twice, but they got caught on this one.
Wow.
They are all facing charges for conspiracy and insurance fraud.
They were looking for the bare necessities.
Yeah. Man in Texas tried to rob a Family Dollar store, but when the robbery attempt went sideways, he then pretended that he was just there to buy nail clippers.
Yeah. Give me all your singles.
He had already acted like he had a gun. You know, the deal where you put your finger in your pocket. I got a gun.
Oh, yeah.
The clerk said the register would not open unless a purchase was made. So the guy grabbed some nail clippers and said, well, let me buy these. The clerk rang up the transaction, and the register did pop open. But the employee quickly closed the drawer as soon as it opened. Wow, you really gonna?
Yeah,
that guy could have had a gun. You're gonna risk that for a Family Dollar?
I know.
The robber at that point got frustrated and stormed out. It's unclear if he actually purchased the nail clippers, but I like to think that he went in there looking to rob the place and ended up spending like $2 or $3 on the nail clippers.
He's like, I'm losing money on this robbery.
The clerk called the police, and they caught up with him. He admitted to pretending that he had a gun in his pocket. He was charged with robbery and resisting arrest.
Oh, wow.
We got a couple of stories here that really, I think, show the difference between living in someplace like Texas and someplace like New Hampshire. Police were talking about a guy in New Hampshire they arrested because he was shooting a tree in the woods with 9 different guns. That's called Saturday.
Yeah.
We may not shoot a tree. What we'll do is put a refrigerator out in the desert and just unload on that. And 9 guns minimum.
What does this one do?
A police officer in New Hampshire stopped along the highway when he saw an abandoned vehicle. When he got out, he heard gunshots coming from the nearby woods.
Yeah.
He called for backup. So several agencies responded. They set up a perimeter. They're treating this guy like he's shooting inside a school or something.
Right.
You're in the woods
He's a tree
shooting
shooter.
at a tree. I even think we have a little bit of audio for this one. But, here you go. This is Lieutenant Justin Dottie of the New Hampshire Police talking about the man in the woods shooting a tree.
He came upon an abandoned vehicle. He heard what he believed to be gunfire, which then caused them to request the assistance of multiple other agencies until they could figure out what exactly was going on. Upon setting up the perimeter, they were also able to learn who the individual in question was. So they were able to make contact with him by phone, also using the PA system on the cruiser to call him out of the woods. He was shooting a small tree in the ground around the tree.
So, Brian, do they shoot a lot of guys? There's a lot of rural parts of Ohio,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's like you said. That's a normal Saturday, and tree lives matter. So but
It sounds like the cop in New Hampshire had never heard about going out in the woods and shooting.
I know.
You shoot at a tree because you don't want it going up in the air. And
Yeah.
you might hit somebody's livestock or a house. I grew up in the country, so.
I get it. Like if you're like, okay, you're shooting at a stop sign or something. You know what I mean? Like
Or
you
a
see-
mailbox, but he was
Right.
just shooting at a tree, and they're making it like he was some kind of gun nut.
And they try to make it sound worse when they were like, it was a little tree.
He was picking on that little sapling.
Even shot around the ground around it.
Got a couple other stories here.
We had
that I-
evidence that he urinated nearby.
Right. Yeah. It seems silly, doesn't it?
I know. I mean, you would think that would be the best place. You got 9 guns. You want to go in the middle of nowhere. You want to shoot a tree. You don't want the bullets flying.
I guess maybe do it on private property, but even then, I mean, that's how we did it.
Yep.
Here's another one.
That guy would be really, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that guy would be really shocked to see what lumberjacks do to trees. He's a sicko.
Tell me what you think about this one. A mom in rural Georgia is facing charges after her 10-year-old son walked into town alone. The town was only about less than a mile away, and this was a small town with a few hundred people. Her name's Brittany Patterson. Her son is just turned 11, so her 11-year-old son, Soren, decided to walk into town, something he had done before. The other kids went to a doctor's appointment, and she left the son at home. He then decided to walk into town, but he didn't tell anybody. A random woman, probably named Karen, saw him on the side of the road. The speed limit on this road is only 35. And again, there are just a few hundred people in this town.
Yeah.
The lady asked if he was okay, and he said, yeah, but she called the cops anyway. The mom got a call from the cops letting her know that they picked up her son walking down the road. Wait until you find out what happens. So they took him home, and she said, well, listen, he does it, and he's mature enough, and, I feel like he's safe. So the police left, but they came back. Later that night, 3 cops showed up, cuffed her, and arrested her in front of her 3 children.
Wow.
Don't we have a problem with kids not going outside and walking and getting exercise and stuff? And this is rural Georgia.
That's crazy. I feel like, you know what? It's that was like normal, like 50 years ago, 30 years ago. And then now.
Would you grow up in a city or town?
Like
or,
a medium-sized town in California, like Fresno, California.
Yeah, like Fresno, okay.
Yeah.
So there were places, if you wanted to go get an icy, you'd walk to the convenience store, you'd walk to the comic book store.
All the time. You'd be on your bike.
Walk to school.
Gone. Yeah.
I walked to school every day in full view of multiple teachers and police officers and everything else. And it was more than a mile away.
Yeah, and it was fast. And some of the places we walked, the speed limit was faster than 35 miles an hour.
They charged the mom with reckless conduct and released her on a $500 bail. Then Child Services came out the very next day for a welfare check because she let her 11-year-old walk a mile. Well, they wanted her to sign some paperwork vowing that it wouldn't happen again, and she refused, got a lawyer instead.
Damn, good for her.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, She could face a $1,000 fine and up to a year in jail for not signing their ridiculous papers. And why do kids not get outside and get more exercise? Because you arrest the parents if they step off the property. Good Lord.
I know.
And finally, I think this is the final story that we have here. Yep. 33-year-old man in the UK was arrested after he flashed a group of women on the street. But he only flashed them after they had made jokes about him having a tiny penis.
They had it coming.
The guy had been drinking and tried to hit on this group of ladies at a club.
Yeah.
I can't blame a guy for trying,
Right.
They say he tried to hug them, but he says he didn't. They told him they weren't interested, and they ran into him again later outside a pizza place. This is where the flashing happened. He told a judge that they said that his junk must be tiny and made hand gestures indicating how small it. Let me see, what hand gesture you would have
you got a little teeny.
You hold your fingers like less than an inch apart. Of course, that's what they were doing. Well, he pulled down his pants and whipped it out and showed him that he didn't have a teeny tiny little wiener.
Check out this red wood.
There's no word on whether he proved them right or wrong. However, they told a cop, or a bobby, as they're called in the UK, who found the guy and arrested him. They also found a small amount of cocaine on him. So they charged him with the indecent exposure and the drugs. He got 18 months probation, drug rehab, and he'll be registered as a sex offender for the next 5 years. Does that sound fair? I wonder if it's like in Big Lebowski, where you have to go around the neighborhood knocking on doors and introducing yourself.
I was accused of having a tiny little one.
I don't. Let me show you.
But it's in England.
I showed him all right.
They said I had a little teeny wiener, I
told ya.
I had to prove I didn't, and then I forgot I had my cocaine on me.
That's your true crime report.
That deal in crime and that kind of thing.
I owe my life of crime to the fact that I was a dropout.
Just last week, a guy pulled a knife on me. I could see it wasn't a real professional job. There was butter on it.
I can get away with it, like the crime of the century.
Crime of the century.
What was the man's crime, sir?
And his daring life of crime made him a legend in his time, east and west of the Rio Grande.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday,
pieces of fine jewelry sent off Tuesday, November 19th. I'm Randy Johnson, and I want to be your jeweler.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
We're back with Darren Carter, the party starter.
Darren Carter, the party starter.
He's giving me a lesson on Armenians, like really a history of Armenians and how the YANs are different than the IANs.
Carter is not an Armenian.
My wife's Armenian.
Oh,
and,
I gotcha.
Yeah, apparently IAN stands for I'm all nose. And the YAN is you're all nose. Inch basis, bro.
You don't see the YAN as much, do you?
I don't see those as much, but they are a lot in LA and stuff. You'll see people Armenian with YAN at their end of their name. Okay. Darren was just saying, though, I guess his wife was telling him that those are people that came from Russia.
Supposedly, that's
why they're spelled YAN instead.
YAN.
Nico was talking about how much you've really leaped into the digital space. So why don't you tell people what you're doing and where they can check out your content? I think Swinehart hasn't stopped filming since he got in.
He's going live. I'm teaching him. I go, you got to go live. So what happened was during the lockdown, I said, you know what? I got to get on. So I started an OnlyFans. Nice. And nobody subscribed to it. So no, I'm joking. I do. I'm on Instagram, and you guys can find me. I think we've getting millions of views views, millions and millions of views. Thank God, it's amazing because I remember when I could barely get it like 20 views. It was hard, you know. And then,
that's great.
And I just started chopping up my comedy, putting it out there on the daily, and they could find me official Darren Carter, Darren Carter, and we just passed 200,000 followers, and we're working our way up to 300,000. And
that's awesome.
Nico says I need to emulate guys like you.
Yes.
But I countered with, it sounds like a lot of effort.
You know, you could probably have people film you and then just have them like chop it up, and they could, you know, get the great moments. Like, you know how you have content every day. That
I've seen Willie Barcena in action. He's got like 2 guys. One of them's his son, who's there all the time to record
everything he does.
The dumbest stuff, in my opinion, that I've ever heard of in my life.
Yep.
But I guess they get millions and millions of views out of it. I just don't understand the medium.
Yeah, he doesn't understand. But you know,
come over here and hold that sword like against my neck.
Oh, Willie would never have been able to do it by himself. Like, he absolutely needed other people to help jumpstart that process. When I saw Darren last time I worked, I think I opened for you last time you were here.
Yeah.
You were filming everything yourself. You were doing, you set up the camera in the back.
Should I hire somebody, like put them on staff? And can you monetize that in any way so that I don't want to get rich. I just want to be able to pay the guy, you know?
You totally could.
Do
yeah,
you?
eventually. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You do?
You could, yep.
No, he does it himself. He does a lot of himself.
I do it myself, and then there's a guy, sometimes he'll help out. Lately, he's been doing it. I'll give him a shout out, Flamingo with the edits.
Nice.
But he'll like listen to like a podcast that I put out, and then he'll chop it up and put it out, which is great because to do everything on your own is a little hard. But I actually like doing it, and you know, I use CapCut. It's an app, and then
he has no idea.
I know.
You're talking to like a
I don't even get memes. Like, people send me memes, and I don't. It's like, is this funny or what is this? I don't get it.
Hey, so also Buzz might not understand the kind of current environment that a lot of comics, especially, and people that put out their content are in. So you could be a stand-up comic who gets on stage for open mic, and it might be a good crowd, and you only do 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you had a good set and chopped that up into several videos, those videos could get a lot of traction.
Yeah.
And now that person looks like a professional stand-up comic. And a lot of these people, they can't do more than 5 minutes. And so
that is true.
And so a lot of people like Darren and like really great stand-up comics sometimes get overlooked because there's now these people who have videos online showing them do stand-up.
I remember what happened to me was it was 6 years ago. It was 2018. I remember I was at this Silver Legacy in Reno. I was performing at this place up there, this Laugh Factory Comedy Club. And, you know, the attendance was okay. It wasn't that good. It was okay. It was, you know. And then the doorman or whoever, the guy at the door, he's like, yeah, we had one of these YouTubers here last week, and the guy wasn't even funny, but he kept packing the place out. And I was like, damn, light bulbs went off. I'm like, okay, I gotta figure this out. So that's when I started, let me film myself.
What if somebody packed out a comedy club and actually put on a good
show?
Show on top of that, right?
Because then it's like word of mouth, and then they share your videos, and you're 100% right, you know.
This is yesterday at the weigh-in with Mike Tyson, and we're going to talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any interest? I'll ask Swinehart first. Yeah. Brian, do you have any interest in watching Tyson versus 27-year-old, what are they called, influencers?
Yeah, I want
Jake Paul.
I want to see it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I like to go to the circus when it's in town.
What else am I going to do with my life, right? So,
well, how much of it is that you guys just want to see Jake Paul get knocked the F out?
I think there are a lot of people who would like to see that guy.
Don't you think it's kind of scripted and, hey, I'll do this,
I
do that?
think a lot of it is watch this weigh-in, okay?
Yeah.
Watch the big screen. Tell me what you think. I do want your opinion.
Okay.
So Tyson just slapped him across the chops, but it didn't look like he slapped him really hard.
Yeah, no.
I've been slapped harder than that by my grandmother.
Yeah. He slapped and then he dropped, which is kind of weird.
Instincts.
Yeah.
It's probably, as soon as you hit, you got to make a defensive maneuver.
I'm going to slap you. Yeah,
it does look maybe a little put up, maybe completely put on.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Hit me more on the neck. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And then Jake Paul starts clowning like, it didn't even hurt. Oh, there it is again. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would not bet on something like this. That would be like betting on a professional wrestling match.
Yeah.
I'm not a gambler anyway.
It's hard to say because if it's real, the problem is with the age gap. If this is a real fight, that's That is huge.
That's a 30-year age gap.
Brian knows from experience. Check this out. He's 45 years old. He used to wrestle in high school. And
I remember that.
And he got
Brian.
this idea about 6 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm going to wrestle again, and he started like training.
Coaching, and are you still coaching?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But now I'm on a college wrestling team at age 45.
As a student, as a college wrestler.
And is it hard to keep up?
Oh man, it is. So the things you used to do, you can't really do anymore.
Do they call you Gramps and stuff like that?
They call me Blue, which is from the movie Old School.
You're my dog, Blue. I'm surprised college students even know Old School.
You're my boy. Check this out. He's older than the students, the other wrestlers, and he's even older than the coach.
Yeah, the coach was born in the year I graduated high school. So.
All right. Has anybody picked this up as a local local interest story or anything?
Not yet. I hope they do
because they have before, like when a 50-year-old walk-on a football team.
Yeah.
Now that
I remember
was
that.
Super impressed.
Yeah.
The dudes. I'm over 50 now, and it's like.
Yeah.
God, I couldn't even go watch a football game in the shape I'm in because of the stadium stairs.
They're like, can I get floor seats? Do they have that? I'm not into.
Well, I had always heard that Jake Paul was doing steroids, like just based on the way his body looks. And
well, he's also training. You don't look like that if you're just doing steroids. He's
right.
And I've seen him in the ring, and it looks like he's at least taking it seriously. But people are asking. When are you going to fight an actual boxer who's in your same age range
and weight class
and weight class instead of all of this?
He does look like he knows what he's doing, though. When you see him training, like the training and all that,
there's some force behind those punches.
I used to join I used to go to this boxing gym for like 6 years back in the day, and they one time after one of my comedy shows. Some of his trainers were there, and they were like, "This is early on too." And they were like, "Hey, you want to spar?" And I went home and looked him up, and I'm like, "No way, I'm not going to spar."
Jake Paul?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I was
had a chance to spar with Jake Paul,
dude. I don't even spar regular.
Was it a thing where you would have to go to his house? Because I've seen those videos. You show up at his house, he kicks your ass in front of your girlfriend.
That's what it was. It was because he had a house near the Hollywood Improv, and I was like. I don't know how serious those guys were. I think they were kind of serious because they're like, yeah, we could hook this up and you can come by.
That's interesting.
He likes to whatever. There's a word they use for it, not sparring, but like he likes to get in there and move around with people.
Mix it up.
Mix it up, that kind of stuff. But I'm like, I don't even do that yet with people in the community. I'm like, this is like my first.
I'm not going to do it with a guy who's fighting Mike Tyson.
Exactly.
Wait, so have you been a big fan of boxing for a while? Did you see Mike Tyson fight when he was in his prime?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah.
You know what though? I honestly saw more of that clips afterwards because at that time it was like you had to like hit the pay-per-view and everything.
If you got it on pay-per-view, and when Tyson was at his peak, I was a teenager.
Oh yeah.
He's like a year older than me, but the thing is, if I bought a pay-per-view and the fight went 13 seconds, like Tyson was knocking people out in the first round, like within seconds.
It was crazy.
I think a lot of people want to see Jake Paul get that from Tyson, but
I mean that was I know.
I mean,
that was
I would
like,
too, but
that was a century ago.
That was like late that was like late eight. It was in the 1900s. It was right. It was like.
Well, Mike Tyson says that he's going to be the most vicious that you've ever seen me before.
I got a couple of quotes here. First of all, Jake Paul says his mom is worried for him. Well, maybe she should be.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a killer and has all the power still clearly in all the videos, all the sparring that he's showing, dropping his sparring partners. My mom is messaging. She can't even watch Tyson punch.
Right.
She won't watch it because it scares her. And he has one of the deadliest uppercuts of all time. So, of course, I have to be ready and know that he's going to have some moments in there, and I'm going to have to persevere.
Brian, it seems like they're in on it together.
Yeah.
Just like some of these other gimmicky fights. It's just they're putting on a show.
The mom line is great. That's like a perfect. My mom is scared for me. Just drawing the hype in. Like,
I've seen enough of this. Like at the boxing gym I'd go to, these guys would fight on television. One guy fought like Deontay Wilder. He's a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And so I would see all these I build up. I guess you get into it, and you're like, yeah, they'll say anything, and then what happens is totally different sometimes. Like one guy. He was like, you're not supposed to get hit in the face. It's deadly. It's not. You ask any doctor.
Not supposed to get hit in the face.
Yeah, and he's
boxing.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, he's right. I was like, this is scary. Then the guy loses.
He's angry. He's an angry little.
This is Jake Paul reacting to Mike Tyson slapping him during the weigh-in.
He's angry. He's an angry little elf. Mike Tyson, I thought that was a cute slap, buddy, but tomorrow you're getting knocked the out. I'm him up, Burial. I'm him up. He hits like a It's personal now. It's personal now. He must die.
Okay.
Bravo.
That's really
Bravo.
It was a cute little slap. You don't even feel like a midget, elf.
Okay, well,
must die. My mom. Don't look at this, Mom.
So do you guys is tonight? We got to take a break.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Tonight, Netflix takes you in the ring for the main event. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. But don't miss the undercard with more fights between boxing legends and YouTube stars like George Foreman versus the I Like Turtles kid.
I like turtles.
Manny Pacquiao versus the Chocolate Rain guy.
Chocolate Rain.
Sugar Ray Leonard versus the Grape Stop lady. And Evander Holyfield versus the Dramatic Chipmunk. Don't miss it.
Hey, it's Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from Led Zeppelin to Soundgarden.
Give us the opportunity and experience why Right Drive is the only way to drive.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
All right, Darren Carter is here. Yeah. He is the comic at the comic strip, the headliner this week. Darren Carter, along with Brian Swinehart at the El Paso comic strip.
Yeah.
Darren has me looking up something on Instagram. Why doesn't Instagram make it so you can back things up? It started at the beginning of the video.
I think you can. You just got to. It's easier on your phone, but you're right. It is a little bit more difficult. Like
this is this is fairly recent, right?
Yep.
Okay. Like my women, like I like my,
and then they yell out stuff.
People yell out stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So I give you an example before we play it.
Yeah.
So I go like this. I go, I'm Darren. You could call me Daron. I love my women like I like. I like my women like I like my shoes, no strings attached. I love my women like I like my. And I tell the crowd, you guys give me a word, and they yell out random stuff. I have no idea what they're going to say, and it goes something like
not
this.
Plants.
Not at all. In fact, people every now and then will think. Which I'll do it right now in front of you guys. Ready? Give me a word. I like my women like I like my
Cybertruck.
An upgrade every year. I love it with no gas.
No gas.
Looking kind of weird, but making people jealous. You know what I mean? I just
big and ugly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of my favorite bits, and you're one of the first comics I saw live when I started stand up. And I remember I had my notebook with me when I saw you, and you made so much fun of me for having my notebook.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Like I like my swim goggles. Wet, tight, and on my face.
I like my women like I like my guitar with the long neck and a G string. I like my women like I like my iPhone, an upgrade every year. I like my women like I like my what? Underwear, white and tight.
I should have asked if this is all suitable for airplay. So far, it's been good.
You can do it. I like my women like I like my coffee. Italian and sweet. Psych.
Oh man, good stuff.
And that one, man, that's and I'll take that video, especially the coffee one, and I'll put it into like other compilations.
Mm-hmm.
And the story with that, there was like these black ladies in the comedy club. There was about 5, like this group of women, and they kept going coffee
because they wanted you.
Yeah,
to say,
they want me to say that.
Yeah,
so that's why I did the old twistaroo surprise misdirection. And then you did sweet, and then when I went psych black, and they're like, oh Lord. And so it was just like a really awesome moment. But yeah, sometimes people will stump me and I can't get anything, and that's okay. That's okay too.
You just don't put those in the video.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Or I'll put them in the video and like to let people know. But you're right. The thing is, you just don't want to get stumped like 5 in a row. Because then it looks
silly.
It's one thing if you're stumped a little bit.
Try another one.
Yeah, like last night, because they were like there was a couple people that were so like drunk that their
just not
suggestions were like they kept going Teddy's, like that cougar bar that's near the club.
Yeah.
They kept going Teddy's. And
I like my women like I like my teddies.
Yeah, full of diseases. No, I don't know. I mean, it's like it was kind of like funny. Like the first time the guy said it, but he kept saying it over and over. Relax. But yeah.
So I got a Joanna. You want a social engagement question for today?
Okay.
Okay.
Hit me with
Somebody asked on, I guess it's Reddit. I want you guys' opinion on this too. What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and the year is 2005?
Oh,
wow.
That's a good one.
Invest in Google?
Yeah, totally, dude.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
First thing I would do is I'd wake up and check my MySpace.
Am I waking up the same age I am now or the age I was in 2005?
I hadn't thought of that. Let's say that you wake up in your 2005 body and you're the only one who knows what's going on.
Wow.
That'd be awesome.
Whoa.
I have an answer for this. I would have had a different answer 20 years ago, but I have a different answer now.
Okay, what's your different
It kind of ruins the bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me read a few of them,
Yeah,
okay?
sure.
Oh.
Let me read what a few people
Okay.
are saying. Mine is poignant.
Yeah.
I would reflect deeply on the mistakes I've
Somebody
made.
said, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow and it was 2005? Somebody said, breathe a huge sigh of relief and do everything differently.
Wow.
I'm firing up Halo 2 on my Xbox Live ASAP. Tell Blockbuster to buy Netflix. Wait, why would you tell Blockbuster to buy Netflix?
Because Blockbuster's the one that said no to Netflix.
Yeah,
Netflix
no, I know,
went to
but
them.
What do I owe Blockbuster?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Just buy it yourself.
There's no benefit for me in this.
Shed tears of joy that the last 20 years of trauma and negative events were all just a dream. Somebody said, I'd buy tank tops. Aeropostale probably has them 3 for $20.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I'd hit up Hot Topic. It would be just like it was back then.
So my answer is different. If I used to think about this a lot. Boy, if I could just go back 10 years in time, I'd switch things around, do some things different. It changes when you have kids because that would have been 2005 was the year before my daughter was born.
Oh, yeah.
If you got to say, I wouldn't go back and change stuff because
I would never have you.
You would
I would
disappear this
never
person
have
from reality. And anybody who says, I'll just have other kids, you don't understand time travel the way I understand time travel.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same kid. It would be a different sperm and a different egg, and you would have a completely different kid. So,
Yeah, you don't want to take that chance.
right.
Or do
Nico,
you?
what would you do different in 2005?
Start comedy earlier?
Started earlier. I thought you were going to say never start comedy.
No. I think most people feel like they want to start earlier. But yeah, I'd start earlier.
All right. This week at the comic strip, it's Darren Carter and Brian Swinehart. Poog, are you on the bill?
No, sir.
No. Okay.
Who's hosting?
Otis is good.
Yep.
Yeah. So good show. Show tonight, 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday.
Correct. Yep. 1 tonight, 2 on Saturday, and then I think it's like a private event on Sunday. So get your tickets for tonight, for sure. Tonight and Saturday.
And Saturday. All right. Let's take a break. Thank you guys for coming in. Great to see you. Hopefully we bump into each other over the weekend.
Yeah.
I hope
Thank
so.
you, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's take a break. Nico and Jimmy is up next with news headlines right after this.
Find out what's going on. Quirky facts about our region. Urgent things you need to know impacting your drive. And of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
Requires eligible plan coverage and other restrictions apply. Visit att.com/onenetwork for details.
Broadcasting from El Paso for El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, Nico has got news headlines. We're going to get into those. Happy Friday, everybody. Weekend's about to start. It has probably started for some. At least it's the pre-kend. I got a few things I want to mention. First, the dining deal is about, it's going to be at 10 a.m., so it's an hour, not quite 2 hours away when it goes live this week. A great restaurant, really, really legendary spot, especially the original on Mesa Rib Hut. Rib Hut for mouth-watering barbecue magic. My favorite is the barbecue beef ribs. You can't find them in every barbecue spot, but Rib Hut has always got them, and they've got good ones. So the deal is that when this goes live at 10 o'clock, you can get on KLAQ.com or the KLAQ mobile app and get them while they last. $50 food certificates that you pay only $25 for. In addition to barbecue, burger, steak, chicken, even catfish. And 3 locations, the original Rib Hut on North Mesa across from UTEP, Montana Avenue, and their new location in the West Town Marketplace. Rib Hut, nobody beats their meat. 10 o'clock, go to KLAQ.com, click on that Dining Deals button on the must-read bar or the Dining Deals button on the KLAQ mobile app. Hey, listen, if you hear my phone go off, I got to leave the ringer on. I'm expecting an important call. I'm going to find out whether or not I get the appointment to be Deputy Undersecretary for Health and Human Services.
Oh, no,
I hear
you're very qualified. You're
I
as
hear it's
qualified
down
as
between
it is.
me and Nick Fuentes. Speaking of appointments,
Hello, it's Christy Nome. I told you I was a tough farm girl. He. I'm Secretary of Homeland Security now. And I'm deporting all the Chihuahua dogs. Yes, the Chihuahuas are the enemy within.
all right, thank you. Thank you, Christy Nome.
Good morning, Mo Show. It's Mo. Congratulations to the other Mo for winning the turkey yesterday. I just wanted to also say that you guys are doing awesome. You guys are talking about Chipotle. It got me reminded of fajita cologne. Nico knows what I'm talking about. Anyway.
Do you know what fajita cologne is?
I don't know what he's talking
Joanna,
about.
I'm glad you're back. Glad everyone's back. Happy Movember.
All right,
and
Mo. Thank
you. Guys enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a great weekend.
All right,
bye, y'all.
Thank you. Mo sounds in a real good spot right now.
He does.
And our winner yesterday of the turkey dinner with all the fixins was also named Mo. So congratulations. We're going to have another complete Thanksgiving feast to give away on Thursday. And everybody who entered for yesterday's giveaway, I'm going to leave the registrations in, so we'll just roll them over. If you could use a turkey yesterday, I'm sure you can use a turkey next Thursday. The turkey dinner, a feast really, is catered by Con Amor. They're going to bring it out to you the day before, and it's courtesy of Rise Federal Credit Union. Just get in touch with us. I think the neckline calls worked out really good, but you can also send an app message. Let us know. Let us know how a turkey could really help you out this Thanksgiving. Not just the turkey. It comes with ham, mashed potatoes, gravy, green beans, rolls, list goes on and on. All the cranberry sauce, all the trimmings. We'll do that again next Thursday.
What did he say about fajita cologne?
He said Nico knows what that is.
In what context was he using it?
I didn't.
I think you heard the
You
same
guys
call
are
we
doing
heard.
awesome. You guys are talking about Chipotle. It got me reminded of fajita cologne. Nico knows what I'm talking about.
All right, pod me up. I thought it was the audio for it. Never mind. It's a Mitch Hedberg joke. He says, fajita cologne. I wish they made fajita cologne because that stuff smells good. What are you wearing? That sizzling?
That's the sizzle's the thing I like most about fajitas. And the chicken does not sizzle as good as the beef.
Steak, yeah.
All right, you ready to give us some news headlines?
Let's
here?
do it.
Joanna, you doing all right over there?
Yes,
Feels
sir.
like we haven't
Thank
heard your
you.
voice in a while.
I've just been enjoying the show.
All right. I hope that goes for everybody. Let's check out news headlines. And with news headlines, here's Nico and Jimmy, and good morning, Nico.
Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning.
I'm going to do news a little bit different. I'm going to start with some national news, and then I'm going to get into some El Paso stories, all right?
Sure.
Well, President-elect Donald Trump announced more nominations yesterday for a cabinet position in his upcoming administration. Trump announced on his Truth Social site that he was nominating Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Well, that's a great pick.
To head the Department of Health and Human Services.
Yeah, perfect spot for him.
Democrats condemned the selection immediately after it was announced, but some Republicans publicly approved of the choice. North Dakota's Doug Burgum was picked by President-elect to head up the Department of the Interior. Trump also announced other nominations, including positions of U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Deputy Attorney General, Solicitor General, and Secretary of Veteran Affairs. Do you want to know? You probably wouldn't know any of the names anyways. But what is interesting is...
The Department of Veteran Affairs is going to be changed to the Department of Losers Affairs. Because Trump called veterans.
Whatever.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
Lame. So Todd Blanche is going to be named as Deputy Attorney General. Todd Blanche was Trump's private lawyer for those Stormy Daniels cases. So he was just like his trial lawyer.
Did he? No, it was Michael Cohen, though, that set up the hush money payments, right?
Yes, that is true. Let's hear Robert F. Kennedy talking about how he's not going to take vaccines away from people. So he says...
I'm not going to take away anybody's vaccines. I've never been anti-vaccine.
You will not take any vaccine that is currently on the market.
I'm not. If vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away.
So anyway, if you Google search anti-vax, all that comes up are pictures of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So he may not say that he's against vaccines, but he is clearly the number one person in the world who's been against vaccines for the last 30 years.
I was reading I
might finally get polio.
I was reading some tweets of people who were bringing up concerns. The people who said that they voted for Trump and who are now bringing up some concerns like, hey, I have a son with an individualized education program. That's not in trouble of going away, right, because of the Department of Education. And they're like, no, if they get rid of the Department of Education, anybody with a special needs child or anybody with certain programs that the federal government provides would go away and it would go back to the states.
No.
And so they're like, we didn't know that was going to happen. Or people who work in construction and are general contractors, and they're finding out that people who are selling materials are not selling past January at fixed prices because...
You lost me now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand this stuff.
At fixed prices of things, like, contractors get the price of the materials beforehand, but they can't guarantee that past a certain point of time because they're going to say tariffs are going to change the way how much things are going to cost.
Sure.
So
yeah,
I thought it was interesting.
That's the most important issue facing us.
For somebody who's so opinionated, you really don't know how things work.
I'm more of a big idea guy.
Those little details don't really matter.
Oh my God. So it's open enrollment. I don't know if you all have ever gone through the hell of open enrollment.
And then our company's changing insurances.
I'm going to just talk for a minute and then we need another break, or are we good this hour?
You're going to talk for a minute?
Yes, I am. So I'm looking at the papers for the open enrollment, and it's like 20 pages of tiny little print. And nobody puts out something like that unless they're actively trying to discourage people from reading it. I've decided. Anything that you're asked to sign and read thoroughly should be no longer than a page. The fact that it's 20 pages of just this dense paragraphs and subparagraphs tells to me that the insurance company does not want me to read what I'm signing up for.
No, that tells me that you don't give a crap about what
I think I represent 95% of Americans who just see that many pages and just like, I give up. They just...
You think you represent people... Do you think most people just sign those away? You're completely wrong.
I think most people see how much it is.
You are in the minority
you would
of
have
people.
to get a lawyer to really figure it out.
You are in the minority of people who doesn't give a crap about any of these things because you don't use any of it. Most people...
You read the user's terms and you're mistaken.
Not users' terms. I'm talking about your insurance. I'm talking about things that are important to people. Most people can't just go their lives thinking, where's my insurance card? Oh, I'll pay out of pocket for everything I do. Like, dude, the fact that you can do that is super lucky, and I think you've lost perspective for like most normal people.
I believe that I connect with a lot of people on this. When you see some kind of terms and agreement, and it's
we're not talking about Apple's we're not talking about Apple's terms of service. Okay, that stuff you're right, but if we're talking about your health insurance, people don't have the option of not reading it.
Well, it's
people
the only health insurance we're getting, so I would pay somebody to read it for me, and then. That's what I really need.
Oh, that's so infuriating that you think that you can that most people could not pay for that most people have to do this stuff, and you're just like, oh well, whatever.
I think most people it's just too intimidating.
They have to do it though.
They get
otherwise,
call in and tell me. Yeah, when you're with anything and it's page after page, do you
not talking about Apple's terms of services? We're not talking about those kind of things. I'm specifically talking about health insurance.
Anything
health insurance.
This is why you were so shocked when you found out our insurance didn't cover your ambulance, right?
So because I'd paid into it for 25 years, and I expected it to come through for me. F you for not reading your
for not reading your terms of your insurance plan. That's
Joanna,
what you get.
Can you read all that stuff? Do you read every word of all that stuff that comes up? My contract. I've never read one of my.
Let her answer.
I know, right? I'm definitely watching those videos that corporate sends that says that this is explaining what the new insurance is going to be like.
People have to go through the process of figuring it out.
Did you understand it?
Huh?
Did you understand
I haven't
it?
seen the video.
Oh,
but I'm gonna because open enrollment is gonna start soon.
Oh God, I hate
and people
open
have
enrollment.
to figure it out. You're lucky and privileged, and you sound like a douchebag.
You kind of sound like I don't really care about this insurance. Just pay whatever.
Yeah, I can afford whatever comes my way.
And
so
that's how you end up with a $9,000 ambulance ride bill.
I think you guys are underestimating. There are a lot of other people there that just...
Dude, people don't just...
Okay, let's find out.
I'm talking about insurance. Oh. Insurance. On insurance. It's so important to people that you seem to take it for granted.
No, I don't take it for granted. I realize it's kind of a scam, and they don't really cover you no matter how long you've been.
Maybe they would have if you had picked a plan. If you had looked through it and you picked a plan that did it.
Anyway, open enrollment is hell, people. Let's take a break. We'll come back in just a moment. More on the way.
The Daily Calendar.
Today, November 15th.
Today is America Recycles Day, promoting making less waste. Ironically started in Texas and Florida. You know, alligators recycle everything. True story. It's I Love to Write Day.
Dear Diary. Dear Diary.
Dear Dairy. And as you can hear, it's National Drummer Day. And it's Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day. One way to do that is just to eat everything. Like that bunt cake. It's Bunt Cake Day.
Now he bunts.
And that's your Daily Calendar.
Hey, Buzz. You are
While you're working away, we're working for you. Our job.
1-5 Tours and the Dallas Cowboys touchdown getaway. Details at KLAQ.com.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers. At GVILaw.com.
Joanna.
Yes.
That last segment got a lot of people calling in.
Oh, good.
And a lot of app chat messages.
My position is, when it comes to your insurance or your open enrollment or just really anything, when they send like 20 pages about your phone policy, the reason they do that is so you won't read it. And the same thing does apply to like your Apple terms of nobody reads that. And when it comes to open enrollment, it's the worst time of the year, and Nico accused me of being elitist or whatever.
I completely agree with you that it is insurance is inscrutable, all the fine print is inscrutable, and they make it harder on purpose. What I was trying to say is you sound like a poser.
Well, I'm not making it about me. I'm talking about this is a problem for everybody.
You don't actually know any of these problems firsthand because you don't have any serious medical condition.
I do.
You don't have anything that you go to the doctor for.
At my age is a serious medical
You've
condition.
been able to just pay for all of it out of pocket, and it's kind of offensive to people who do have to go through the insurance
That's not true. I couldn't pay for everything out of pocket.
A $9,000 ambulance ride? You did. I mean, not many people could do that.
I mean, our insurance did not offer any ambulance coverage whatsoever, and probably somewhere in that volume of words. Let's find out. And I said I speak for 95% of people.
Let me read some of these.
Nah, I think I'll do this.
Hey, Buzz. You are so correct. People do not read the fine print. I used to be in finance for 4 different companies for maybe 15 years, plus a bank, a loan officer, and people do not read. They just kind of open, flip the pages, and then they sign at the end.
I put it at 95%. I bet you it's higher than that.
So you're correct 100%. Now, whether it's 100% of the people that do that or 95, I don't know, but a lot of people, the majority, probably 90% that went into those offices never read anything. So anyway, you have a good weekend. Bye.
So you're trying to make it a goof on me.
What? You're not gonna
just become a sane person. Yes, become a sane person here. I'm not making it about me. I'm making it about everybody.
It is a problem for everybody.
Okay, well, everybody shouldn't be doing that. You should be reading these things.
Nobody's going to do that, and it is designed that way. That's my point.
And later on, when you're like, I need them to pay this, they're going to be like, well, did you read the fine print? That's not.
Hey, you guys got a great conversation going on about the insurance. It's really a topic I'm surprised more people don't talk about. They can name 10 people on their favorite football team. Everyone's talking about the fight this weekend. Yep. How many people can actually tell you how their insurance works?
Nobody.
Unfortunately, there's probably not enough education out there that's offered. And the insurance plans vary so much, it can be confusing.
Okay, but what I'm saying is when I open that up and I see that many pages and it's all fine print, meaning you would need a magnifying.
Your eyes start glossing.
Right. That is not an accident. They're doing that, and what they want the reaction to be is that you don't read it, and then they can screw you.
Yes, I agree with you.
Okay, then quit being so obstinate.
I'm not being obstinate. I'm just saying you're lucky that people do stuff for you, and that like when you lose your insurance card, you don't have to go into the phone with the insurance company and stay on the phone with them. You can just ask Joni to.
No. I have to do like today. I won't get any work done after the show because I'm going to be going through this open enrollment hell.
Good. Wait,
but guess what? At the end of it, I won't know any more than I did at the beginning.
That is sad. Bryn.
Hey, Buzz, I just wanted to say that, yes, I absolutely agree with you that nobody reads anything when it comes to your health insurance or literally anything for that matter, because most of Americans read below a 6th grade reading level anyway, and so when they see something like that, they just get totally overwhelmed and they just sign. Nobody's reading that stuff. The only people that are actually reading it are the ones who are privileged and have the education to be able to sit and read something like that.
Well, now you're the elitist.
So I think you're wrong, Nico. Sorry to say.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying people don't have a problem with this. I'm saying it's a huge problem. I'm saying it's not a problem for you, but it's a problem for America.
Take me out of the equation. Then.
Okay.
Just, I'm saying in general, I've noticed a flaw in our healthcare system, and it is that they make the rules and conditions and provisos so incomprehensible that nobody knows what they're supposed to be getting. It's a scam.
Hey, you guys got a great conversation.
All right, let me read these app chat messages.
No, I know what you're just trying.
I'm not going to read.
You're just trying to dunk on me, and it's baby
I'm not trying
behavior.
to dunk on you. I'm trying to read what people put in.
Hey, both of you.
You don't want to hear what people are writing.
Regarding the health insurance open season, I completely get it.
Is that the same call?
I feel the same way every time
it
comes
I
around.
played this one.
But what was she going to say?
That I'm right. Everybody's saying I'm right, dude.
But I've noticed that a lot of
you're trying to turn it into a bit where we argue.
I'm not trying to turn it into a bit. I'm telling you that you're actually a terrible spokesperson for this issue.
Okay, but do you agree that
it's
something like 95
issue.
to 100% of people don't read all this stuff?
Probably, but let me read some of what the people are saying in the app chat because they're also listeners.
That's my call.
It is your call.
Is that your insurance calling?
Yeah, no. Hello?
Why is he answering it?
The president? Okay, yeah, I'll hold. Yes, sir. Department of Health and Human Services, I would be honored, sir. Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Do you want me to read these app chat messages?
Yeah.
Brent, I'm with Buzz regarding medical insurance. We trust what they tell us, but then later on the fine print excludes what you need. Manny G says, Amazon here in El Paso has HR that will walk you through it when you enroll, and the insurance is great, and they help us understand.
Well, that's nice.
Right. A-hole. Every word, no. But you need to read your premium, copays, deductible, and see if your doctor is in network.
All right, I'm turning your microphone off unless you can restrain yourself while I say this. There should be a law that if you ask somebody to sign something, you need to be able to condense it to one page that's in everyday language that you don't need a lawyer to parse for you. Otherwise, you're just counting on us being at your mercy, and it's not fair anymore.
Sure.
Hi, everyone. Buzz is right. You know, insurance is very intimidating, the verbiage and all of that. I'm not a technical person, and I like old-fashioned ways. Send me the book, you know, pen and paper, whatever. I mean, I've been trying to get off of...
I am talking about getting it in the mail and opening it up, and just like the words are swimming in front of my face, and I'd have to get a magnifying glass to even read them.
Paying $30 because I used to be a smoker, and I quit 3 years ago, and I still can't get anything done because nobody answers the phone at the insurance. So that's not true, Nico. You know, there's a lot of us in the same boat. Y'all have a great weekend.
If I had anything to say about it, I would say, why don't we make it so it's easy to understand? And the caller's right about reading at like a 6th grade level. That's you know, pretty average in America.
Yeah. I think that it is well. It's also the reason we don't have a great healthcare system that has been promised for years now, from the Obamacare issues to Donald Trump trying to well, that was actually part of the Obamacare. They were trying to make it easier for people to enroll and so people to understand it.
I just see it as a scam. President Trump, if this message gets to you, please have somebody there look into making it so people understand what they're signing when they sign up for their health insurance. They did include an 800 number to call.
They did.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling the Healthcare Benefits Enrollment Helpline. You probably should have called a week or two ago when you received your enrollment package. But no, you waited until the last possible minute and now want to sign up. Let me see what I can do. Sorry, it's the end of my shift. Please try again tomorrow.
Okay.
Hey, when it comes to this whole health insurance thing, I am not on Team Buzz and I am not Team Nico. I am Team Obamacare. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Team Joanna. I love you, Joanna. Hang in there, girl. It's a rough Friday. All right, have a good one, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you see what I have to deal with, everybody? We were doing a nice conversation, and suddenly it
but
blows
I think
up.
it's an important thing.
Also,
I really
you've got
do.
a live call if you're going to take this or not.
Sure. Who is it?
I don't know. Oh, Raul.
Raul, hello.
Hey.
Morning, guys. Buzz, I think I'm going to try and help Nico out here because I don't think his message got across. I agree with with you, Buzz, that it is a terrible thing that they make it so complicated. Lawyers have made it so terrible, and insurance companies are an absolute scam. They're a cartel, making it seem like you have to jump through too many hoops to get the medication or the medical procedures you need to happen. However, what Nico's point, I think, that he was trying to make is that you're in a position of, what is the word that he used?
Privilege? No, that's just him because he gets tired of everybody bagging on him.
Wait,
and he
what?
thinks it's just a lame attack.
Buzz. You're in a position of privilege because you can say, oh, no, well, I'm just not going to read it. Oh, this is dumb. Oh, I'm not going to do it. Because you're shaking it off and you're not accepting the responsibility for having to read it. And you're saying, oh, well, this is just dumb. It's just terrible.
No.
Yes, that's exactly my point.
It's impossible. It's impossible to navigate through this unless you have a law degree and a medical degree.
And you are coming from a place of privilege to be able to do that.
All right, well, fine, I am, but I think a lot of people
Buzz, how many
agree
times have you asked me to go on the phone with certain things for you?
Yeah, how many times have you done it?
A lot.
I still get those home health tests that you signed me up for, and I'm still paying for it, and I can't get it off my bill. It's just super annoying.
But I have had to do a lot of stuff for you. You know, you're lucky that people do that stuff.
Oh, I owe you a debt of gratitude I can never repay, of course.
You do, Buzz, and you're being ungrateful for it to him.
He doesn't. He'll say he does it, but he'll never actually do it.
Why are you just accept the fact that you are coming from a place of privilege.
So what? Even if I were, I still have
That's the
insurance.
point. That's the point that you can have. You have that privilege.
Everything that you said right up to that, I agreed with 100%. So basically, you comprehend what I'm saying.
Yes.
But do you just want to fire up Nico? Do you like the bickering and just the false attacks?
You have to say, I'm sorry, Nico. You were right. That's what you have to say, Buzz.
It'll be a cold day in hell before you ever hear those words from me.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Y'all talking about the insurance.
That's too low. I can't hear that call. I can't hear. I should probably already have hearing aids, but I can't figure out how to get them from my insurance.
Because you're 100% right all the time, Buzz. Get on to him, man.
Yeah.
Nico, this is his show. He's going to be right. Like, all the time he's going to be right.
You got it.
Later.
I cannot believe this is the thing that fired you guys up this morning.
You know what? No, you know why,
so...
Joanna? No. You know what it is because I have had to do this stuff for Buzz before, and I have
Nico has lived it.
I have lived trying to help him figure out
with the cable company, though.
No, but definitely the insurance thing. When we were trying to figure out your insurance and trying to get you a doctor for certain things, and I was trying to help get you it, and we had to go through Joni, and Buzz was like, "Well,
Joni, who doesn't even do that for us."
And Buzz was like, "Nico, I don't have my insurance card." And I was like, "Well, I need your insurance card to help you find this doctor." And he's like, "I don't know where it is, dude."
People here told me you don't need an insurance card anymore, and then I go to a doctor's office. It's like, let us see your insurance.
You know what? It comes off as frustrating to me because I've dealt with trying to help him go through this process of insurance, and he has no idea what he's talking about when he actual reading of the insurance stuff.
Okay, I am not part of this discussion.
Okay, you are not.
Apparently I'm too privileged. But I would say for a lot of people,
absolutely,
when it comes time to put their name on something, they just give up, and it is intentional.
Absolutely.
By the system.
Yes,
so that's
absolutely.
what I'm calling out. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me.
Brown
Is that
Chicken
okay?
Browncow says that now that Buzz is going to be Secretary of Health and Wellness, can't he just change the insurance?
I'm going to. I'm going to put my head together.
That should be your first thing that you do in your first 100 days.
With my boss, Robert Kennedy Jr., he and I will try and solve this problem. I hope so anyway. Hey, there's a special moon tonight. I just wanted to mention this.
Okay.
It's not a harvest moon. It's a beaver moon. Have you ever heard of the beaver moon?
Yeah, I see one every week.
A beaver moon?
Oh, yeah.
Well, a beaver and a moon.
I think it's the first full moon. It's the first.
I think those are two different things.
Beaver moon is the first full moon in the month of November. Here you go.
It was a cold November night. I was holding my honey tight, and she said she had something to show me to make me swoon. She took me outside, and she showed me the beaver, showed me the beaver moon.
One more call, then we'll take a break.
Hey guys, it's me, Sam. Just listening to you guys bicker about the open enrollment, but it's kind of funny to hear Mr. Escargot talking trash about how privileged Buzz is.
That's what this was all about. This was Nico is getting tired of the escargot stuff, and this is him lashing out.
No, it's not.
Especially since Buzz didn't come from a very wealthy background, if I recall.
Yeah, that's right.
Just funny. Talk to you guys later.
I also didn't come from a wealthy background, and this whole thing, I am not wealthy at all. So I don't come from a world of I am a lucky person who I have.
I hope everyone's having a great Friday.
Yeah,
this is a great start to the weekend, you guys.
All right.
By the way, that interview that you sent me to sign up for, I just got a call from our friend Michael.
Yeah, ask him not to call during the show. I mean, an email will do.
An
immediate answer.
Hey, there's a great.
So yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna have Danica McKellar on the show
on Monday.
There's one more neckline call that just came in.
All right, go ahead. Let me predict. It probably backs up what you're saying.
Buzz.
Of course.
Buzz. Come on now. I've heard you lecture both Joanna and Nico several times on the responsible, grown-up, mature adults. You've lectured everybody about.
All right, let's take a break. We're going to come back just an hour away from the dining deal of the week. There's one thing about making adult decisions and taking things seriously, but then there's another thing where you're set up to fail, that they put it out of reach for most people. That's all I'm drawing attention to.
They do.
All right, let's take a break. More of the Buzz Adams Morning Show on the way right after this.
Hi, it's Chuck, and tonight at 11 on Loudwire Nights
are at redbasin.com. That's reddirtbbqbasin.com.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
Cappy is going to come in from our partner station 600 ESPN, talk a little sports. Gee, I wonder if we'll talk about the Miners or the Cowboys, or I have a feeling it's all going to be about this stupid fight tonight.
Imagine Cappy comes in and is like, so insurance.
I'll ask him, have you gone through the enrollment hell yet? Have you done your insurance enrollment? Hold on, here's the line again.
Thank you for calling the Health Insurance Annual Enrollment Helpline. Your call is very important to us, so please stay on the line.
Let's just see.
In fact, your call is so important, your wait time is just 45 minutes.
Wow.
All of our agents are currently busy with other customers. Please continue to hold. Okay, we only have 2 agents taking calls for the entire network, so you're pretty much screwed. But you have to sign up or you won't be covered. So please, stay on the line. Your wait time is now 47 minutes. Thank you for your patience. Your call is very important to us.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
On and on.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, there's something that I think you could get almost 100% of Americans to agree with.
Agree.
And if so many people agree, get it done.
Well, the insurance companies.
God, we were still doing news.
The insurance companies have a lot of power, and I think they kind of
lobby. They make donations. They've got PACs working for them.
They diluted the
whole thing
Obamacare.
Is, when you're going through that stuff, if it seems impenetrable to you, that is by design. And you agree with that?
I completely agree with that.
That is the only point I was trying to make.
It is completely by design.
You guys, everybody sucks here.
This effing guy.
You're ruining my Friday.
This effing
guy. This guy.
All right. Well, yesterday, the federal government's All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or the AARO, released the 2024 report on Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, or UAPs, which is the government's term for UFOs. In the report, AARO details 757 UFO incidents just last year, with 174 of them unresolved. So that means they figured out what most of them were, but 174 that happened this year, they're like, huh? The report also lists 21 cases as displaying anomalous behaviors that need deeper investigation, and says that hotspots for sightings and incidents include U.S. nuclear sites, the Middle East, and East Asia. The report says that the office has found no evidence of extraterrestrial beings, though, activity, or technologies.
I want to be clear about this. I'm not saying that there's nothing there, or people are making it up, or they're seeing the planet Venus or whatever. There's something, but that doesn't mean it's UFOs. Although this guy, Lou Elizondo, was in front of Congress yesterday. He said, it's definitely non-human intelligence making this stuff. I don't think he's got it. He doesn't have proof of that.
He did answer to Lauren Boebert's question that she asked, have you seen any UFOs going into the ocean or out of the ocean that would indicate a Earth-based station,
UFO base
or home base? Yeah, and he was like, "Well, I have reports of orbs coming out of the ocean and meeting other orbs in the air." What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What does that even mean?
I feel like Congress is kind of being conned by the dude from Ancient Aliens in a way. And they're sitting there.
The guy with the crazy hair?
Yeah, the guy with the crazy hair. So I looked up Lou Elizondo, and here's what, as close as I can figure. He did work for Army counterintelligence. He did work for the Defense Department, but some of the claims that he makes have been disavowed by the Pentagon. They said, no, he did not work on this program. But Lou Elizondo says, well, it was top secret. What do you expect him to say? So it's just I mean, it seems a lot like sleight of hand stuff going on here. Well, rhetorical sleight of hand.
Here is that Ancient Aliens guy, or Luis Elizondo, as we're calling him now, talking about the government having some crash UFOs.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft, yes or no?
Yes.
How can you answer that? Yes, so seriously, like definitively.
Really?
Yes.
Can you offer something other than your word on it? Can you offer any physical evidence? And don't say that tape that came out. Listen, those Navy pilots are in the air all the time. I'm sure they see all kinds of weird stuff. But when you look at the tape, it actually looks like dots on a black and white screen. I mean, it's not proof of anything, much less alien intelligence.
Well, here is Elizondo also talking about how UFOs have hurt U.S. Soldiers.
In your book, you mentioned government employees who've been injured by UAPs placed on leave and receiving government compensation for their injuries. Is that correct?
That is correct.
How can the government deny we have recovered craft if they're paying people because they've been injured by recovered craft?
Ma'am, that's a great question. That's why I think we're here again.
You know
Excellent
what all this sounds like? And I'm not trying to make fun of the guy or minimize. Apparently, he does have a science background. He got a degree in microbiology, and he did work for the government. But he sounds like a true believer to me.
He does.
Somebody who could not be dissuaded, even if shown evidence of that what he's saying. Do you know why they changed it? One of the reasons they changed
from
it
UFO to UAP?
Yeah, because a large percentage of these turn out to be swamp gas or the planet Venus misidentified. And I'm not talking about by Navy pilots. I'm talking about just like people on the ground.
Right.
So they're not flying at all. So they changed it to unidentified anomalous phenomenon, but that could be ghost, right? I mean, if it's just anomalous phenomenon.
Well, when he mentioned the
could be Bigfoot.
When he mentioned the orbs that he says came out of the ocean and met up with another orb in the air.
He also reported that there were orbs in his house one time.
Yeah, so those orbs are the same one ghost hunters say they find. Like
it's kind of infuriating, not to this guy, but for that the Congress people are doing this. But I mean, there's probably some truth, but I don't think it's aliens.
I don't think so either. Actually, how many people? I bet there's a lot of people that believe in aliens.
Sure. Well, I mean, in the totality of the multiverse, somewhere there's probably...
Absolutely.
Define what we're talking about. Are we talking about some kind of bacterial life on the third moon of,
because that's definitely there.
Yeah, so that's there.
But if you're talking about like an intelligent
that's
creature...
in touch with us?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a huge believer in aliens.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You better believe it. They're
like the ones that can talk to you.
Yeah, they're looking at us right now. Hell, you could be one for all I know. I mean, there's no telling. You ever see the movie They Live? I mean, it's very possible. All I got to do is put on some sunglasses, and next thing you know, Nico's an alien.
Yeah, put on some sunglasses and get some bubble gum.
That's right. Thank you very much.
But I don't know how people like you and Jenny has the craziest theories on...
No. Steve doesn't. He's joking.
Oh, you're joking?
Yeah, he's joking.
What's that about?
You're joking.
I mean, look.
I was so invested in this when I was a kid. When I first read about UFOs, I was just so fascinated, and it drove me crazy that I couldn't know.
How do we explain the Phoenix Lights?
Apparently, that was a military training exercise. They dropped some flares, so those lights that looked like craft hovering were flares slowly, very slowly, dropping to the ground.
But that's what the government wants you to think.
Wait, can flares last a half an hour? Or a couple of hours?
Because they're dropping from...
I don't know. Do I look like the flare expert?
Well, you're not Ric Flair? Woo!
You're a flamer.
Yeah, look.
Hey,
I'm just telling you.
You done the open enrollment yet, Steve? How was that? Was that a walk in the park or what?
Steve, don't answer that.
First off, I've watched the video.
Hey!
Nice. See,
you watched the video.
And did you know anything more after watching the video?
Yeah, and they've added a third policy, is what I learned.
Oh, interesting.
Wow,
what does that even mean?
How responsible of you, Steve, to take control of your own healthcare policy and learn as much as you can about it.
We switched from Blue Cross Blue Shield to Cigna. That's like breaking news around this building, so that's a big deal around here. First thing I thought of is
people have been talking about it, Buzz.
Buzz, did you know that our new company was going to be Cigna, our new insurance?
I'm probably just going to sign the thing without reading. Nobody can. What I'm saying is, like
you can't do that. You have to go through a one-on-one.
We just established. Let me tell you something, Cappy. In a very scientific way, we just established that 99% of people cannot read the legalese or the fine print.
Just can't read.
Well, there might be some truth to. Maybe that's what I should do. It's like, yeah, I never learned how to read. I'm one of these I'm afraid you're going to have to hold my hand and walk me. Yes, I'm
Explain
sorry.
this to me like I'm 5.
And they'll be like, "What do you mean you can't read?" Well, it's
I can't read.
Yeah,
You know what?
you're gonna have to.
You know what sucks to me is that when I first started on insurance in this building, I think like your first doctor's visit, like the deductibles were like 15, and then when you went to a specialist, it was like 30. Now it's like 65 and 90. Like seriously. $65 to go see your doctor to have him tell you, "Yep, you look good."
Buzz, can you define what deductible is? What a deductible is?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you have an accident, they're going to cover something, but it starts after the deductible. So if you have a $5,000 deductible, you're on the hook for the first $5,000. Yeah, I'm not an idiot. Yeah, you are. It's like, wait a minute. It's like at the beginning of the year, you go get your prescriptions and they charge you full price.
Right,
and you
right.
say, wait a minute, why am I paying
What happened to
$70 for
this?
something I normally pay $15? It's your deductible and it's January.
I know, but what I'm saying is, you have to pay those. You have to pay an appointment cost. Like when you show up before you get to see the doctor, you have to give them money. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that cost
Wait.
continues to go up and up and up. Although this year, I think it was 65 and 90. So point is, look, we used to have very, very good policies where your deductible was like $750 for the year. Now the lowest deductible is like $4,250. So the point is that as we go every year, the deductible raises. You have to go higher and higher to reach it, and then your cost goes up every month.
It's like a 400% increase.
It's enormous. That's why. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's people I know that have Obamacare that have better policies than us, but it's all right.
There might be no more Obamacare after January.
Nah, they're not getting rid of that.
Really? I don't know.
No.
How do you know?
Yeah, how do you know?
What is your expertise in this area?
It's not happening.
Do you know who are the Secretary of
Do you know who was
Health
elected
and Human
president?
Services? Yeah.
What's that?
And you know who the president is going to be?
I do.
You know what he has vowed? To
What's
get rid of Obamacare.
Yeah, they'll probably be Trump care, and he's going to try to make it
And
better.
just make it the same thing?
Or the same or better. It's, you know what a way it is.
You're kind
It's
of
all-
an idiot,
it's
aren't you,
all-
Steve?
It's all egos.
Also, the Department of Education going to get rid of. That's what their plan is.
Yeah. Let's get rid of everything.
Let's just get rid of it all.
Let's just get
Save
rid of it
everybody
all.
a lot
Let's
of
just-
money.
Yeah. let's
Well,
get rid of
their thing is, why don't the
We're going to
states
be like a third world country,
Hey, why
but we'll
am
get
I
rid
here
of the government
talking
stuff.
politics? I don't want to talk politics.
I
What
can
is
see
wrong with
why.
you? All I wanted to do was show up
Let's
here and talk about UFO.
Alex Jones then. How about
All
that?
right.
It was announced yesterday that Alex Jones' InfoWars was purchased at auction by the satire website The Onion for an undisclosed amount. The families associated with the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre backed The Onion's bid for the site and all of InfoWars' intellectual property. And The Onion said it plans to turn the website into a satirical site mocking the types of conspiracies theories that Jones has become known for.
Beautiful.
Who owns The Onion?
It's a publishing.
Is it a publicly traded company?
No, there's a publisher that owns it.
Boy, so he's saying a lot of things in this next clip.
It is true.
I am waiting to find out until somebody just smacks him down on some of the stuff he's saying.
I have some unfortunate news for you then to clarify what he just said. In a twist, Jones just posted to X last night, and here he is.
The judge had an emergency hearing today that we filed for at 8 a.m. this morning. It went on for several hours. He was extremely upset, the federal judge, Chris Lopez, and said this is not a real auction.
So there is a hold on the buy.
You know, that was Alex Jones' voice, so I got to presume that 100% of what he was saying was
BS.
Yeah.
I know. But I did look this up, and the judge has put a hold on the purchase of InfoWars, and there is a hearing set for next week.
Oh, that was a feel-good story yesterday. Because the Sandy Hook parents,
such
like
a
the
feel-good
people
story.
that he maligned, the people that he lied about, and sicked his psychopathic psychopaths on. Were
Wow, you said sick, psychopathic?
Sick, that's a triple alliteration.
That you nail.
Okay, so I have some really crazy news stories from El Paso to actually bring up.
Oh, good.
So there is going to be a mayoral runoff election December 14th where we will decide who our mayor is going to be between Renard Johnson and Brian Kennedy.
I got a question.
Yes.
In the paper, it said, here's how you register to vote in the runoff. Do I have to register again, or am I already in? I voted.
You're already in.
On November
You don't have
5th.
You don't have to register a second time.
Good.
That's a good question, though. No, that's a good question. So if you already voted, you can just go and vote
For sure?
for this.
Yes.
Do you know
Yes.
that for sure?
Yeah, you don't have to register a second time for a runoff.
Well, they're actually going to have a forum between the two candidates Thursday, November 21st at the El Paso Community College Administrative Services Center. That's the one on Viscount. And it's going to be co-led by El Paso Matters and FitFam.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
El Paso Matters is one of the most austere, trustworthy sites of information of local interest in El Paso.
And so is FitFam.
Right.
FitFam is. Listen, let's be honest, okay? This is a serious question. When you ask El Pasoans, where do you go for your news?
FitFam.
There you go. So they should be there. They deserve a spot at the table.
The forum will be live streamed on FitFam the entire time, where people can ask questions and really hear from the two candidates about what the key issues facing our community is and how they are going
Doesn't
to address it.
FitFam have a fist fight in a McDonald's to cover or something?
Well, El Paso police are also looking for the suspect who attacked a parked car with hot cooking oil outside of an apartment complex in the Lower Valley. According to Crime Stoppers, a suspect was pictured damaging a vehicle parked at the Columbia Apartments, and he threw hot oil on it, a pot of hot oil on a car. I just thought it was a weird crime. Like, what is the point? Why even...
Have you looked up and Googled what hot oil could do to a parked car?
Check it on FitFam. Find out.
Okay, and this is crazy, guys. There's some pictures. Let me show you the picture, Steve, so you can see. Can you see this?
Wow.
These are illegal immigrants pictured in our sewer system.
Really?
Yep. This is underneath El Paso's sewer system.
Like mole people. So, are they living down there or just hiding down
Smugglers have been caught leading migrants through the storm drains.
Okay,
guys.
so I wrote an article. I tried to get to the bottom of this. Is it possible to, like in Bugs Bunny fashion, go into a hole on the Mexican side and come out of another hole on the El Paso side?
Okay, so it seems...
Because a wall ain't going to fix that.
It seems like they're hiding in there, not necessarily just being...
Smuggled.
They're
through. Also, maybe they're waiting there and until they get the all clear or whatever.
So those storm drains that they're in, there's a lot of hazardous chemicals, smells, and a lot of stuff that will bubble up, and they're being kind of subjected to that.
Well, it kind of sounds like they're subjecting themselves to it in a way.
That's a good point.
Okay.
In El Paso Matters, they're talking about, there is going to be a museum historical marker dedication.
Yeah, nobody cares about that.
No?
No.
The International Museum of Art, the one that's there on Montana.
Okay.
The state is going to now mark it as a historical site.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's that one that has like a house that looked like it's like a very, I think it was like the richest family in El Paso for a while lived there.
Yeah, I've been. It's great, especially when they have an exhibit. It's like a 600-year-old painting, and you can get real up close to it, and it's just yeah. I'm not a very artsy type of dude,
but you appreciate the history of it.
When I go into your house, I've never looked on the walls to see if you have any paintings. Do you?
Yeah,
got a couple.
Like what?
I got my Simpsons poster.
Okay,
Starry Night.
I got a Starry Night. Sure. I've got the original Mona Lisa, the one they have in the Louvre is a fake. What do you mean? I've gotten stuff from those starving artist sales that they used to, you know what those are? They used to have them at the convention center, and you go in and it's just like.
I was just curious if you had any art in terms of local artists, because there's some incredible artists in El Paso, and I didn't know if you have any examples of their art.
Yeah, do you have like a Hal Marcus?
Yeah.
No.
I have.
Somebody once tagged my brick walls. Does that count?
I have 5. We have lots of Hal Marcus. Hal
You
Marcus.
do?
Oh yes.
Like
Hal
an original or a print?
Prints.
Oh,
no, I can't afford originals. I work in radio.
Yeah, I thought you were asking me. Would I have any original art? Of course
I'm
not.
talking prints. Do you have any prints?
Yeah, I
There you
had
go.
Purple Rain. I had When Doves Cry. A lot of prints.
Oh my God.
What
That
it
is-
is?
that is awful.
I'm Nico.
Terrible.
Steve, do you know this house I'm talking about? The one that's on Montana? It's the it was owned.
house?
It's the art museum.
It's an art museum now. but it has giant columns on it, and it was like
Yeah, no, that's usually what we used to watch the Thanksgiving parade there when we would go. They would be open for. Is that the one you're talking about?
yes, it was built in 1906, and it was owned by the Turneys.
Yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful museum.
Yes, now it's a really nice museum, but it's a really cool old school, just like house.
Yeah, years ago they would. That's where they would allow you to sit, to go before the big Sun Bowl parade.
Oh, Cap! Before we take a break,
By the
we're
way,
going to come back and talk.
congratulations to Wayne Thornton. He
Yeah.
is going to be this year's Sun Bowl parade. What do you call that? He's the. He's in the front float. What is that? The
Grand Marshal?
Grand Marshal. The Grand Marshal.
Right. Yeah, Wayne's going to be the Grand Marshal. Wayne was the first coach of UTEP women's basketball.
He was.
That's hard to believe.
Why?
Because Wayne seems young. He doesn't seem like a guy who would have been around coaching basketball in the 70s.
He was like 3 years older than the players themselves. He was like
was he like a young?
Yeah, he was in his early 20s.
Yeah.
Steve, do you know how long women's basketball has been in college sports? Is it a
do you
fairly
know how
recent?
long it's been at UTEP?
Well, UTEP has been 50 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty progressive.
Yes.
Wait,
absolutely.
Wayne's not 70.
Yes, he is.
God, you got to be kidding.
No, Wayne's in his early 70s.
Well, Wayne looks good then.
He does. He looks great.
Carlos in our app chat says, yes, they have found tunnels that lead from Mexico into El Paso.
Pismo Beach. All I can picture is Bugs Bunny coming out. It's like, I must have taken a wrong turn in Albuquerque. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk some sports, but probably mostly the Tyson-Jake Paul fight tonight.
Beautiful.
Got an update on that with Steve Kaplowitz from 600 ESPN right after this.
Music news, concert updates, song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
That's ice cold beer and every game on a big screen. Chupa lo que quieras. Ojos Locos Sports Cantina, La Casa del Balón.
This is the morning show that provides acceptable levels of social insanity.
Buzz on 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, Steve, let's talk some sports.
Please.
Let me get some of your sound going. I only had 30 minutes to prepare for this,
I mean, 30.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show presents Go Sports Go. Brought to you by the Viva Auto Group. Viva makes it happen.
All right, so you want to talk about Saquon Barkley a little bit?
You know what? I'll talk about whatever you want.
Let's talk about...
It's your show, not mine.
Let's talk about last night on Thursday Night Football. Saquon Barkley scored 2 touchdowns in 20 seconds. And here's the audio. So he scores a touchdown. There's a turnover. They get the ball right back. He scores again.
On the ground. And a first down. And a ton more. Barkley. Touchdown.
A few moments later.
Barkley. Does he have another one? Yes, he does. Touchdown.
How did the Eagles get this guy from the Giants?
Because the Giants were so dumb, they just decided not to bring him back. They let him go. They let him go, walk in free agency and not resign.
Insane.
Yeah, I mean, look, he is made for this team, that's for sure. And by the way, in the fourth quarter, with 10 minutes left to go in the game, you know what the score was? 10 minutes left.
I know that I did watch some of this game last night, and that when I watched it, the Commanders were leading.
They were winning 10-6.
10-6,
with 10 minutes left to go. And then Philadelphia...
Yeah, but it's not a blowout.
No, but what I'm trying to tell you is that the Eagles were not even in the lead in this game for the first 3+ quarters. And then they came back and scored those 2 big touchdowns to put it away.
We had a very happy Stephen Puga here earlier.
He should be happy.
Yeah.
I mean, the Eagles are right now, 8-2? So they're at the top of the division. And Washington now has 4 losses. So, yeah, I'd be happy if I'm Poogs.
Let's talk about everything we're going to talk about, and then we'll talk about the fight tonight. Do you want to come over, watch the fight at my house?
I appreciate the invite. Yeah. I do. But I already have plans for tonight. I was invited to a friend's birthday party.
Oh, yeah, I'm invited to that, too, but I was told I'm not allowed to go.
Really?
What?
What the hell is that?
Interesting.
I'll tell you. I can tell you off the air.
I think I know why, but but that hasn't stopped you before. Why are you gonna let that influence you now?
Because I want to watch this fight. They might have it on at our friend because it's the same friend, Santa Teresa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because you're anti-Trump?
No. It has to do with like certain people in a friend group
Yeah, well, you know.
Okay, all right.
picking up sides.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way.
But the main thing is, I want to watch the fight at home. I'll send a present with you for.
Can I tell you something? If she doesn't have Netflix, I will log in with my credentials and watch it there. That fight will be on that TV tonight, no matter what.
All right.
happens.
Well, listen, I'm only like a mile and a half or 2 miles away from her, so maybe at some point, if the undercard is too boring, Brad and I will get in the car and drive over to our friend's house in Santa Teresa for the birthday party.
I guess the undercard is a women's fight.
No,
Well,
there's two
two
championship fights on the undercard. There's two title fights.
But one of them's women's boxing?
Yes.
Foxy boxing.
It's not foxy boxing, you idiot.
By the way, I need to make this announcement real quick. Ring Wars 14, which was scheduled for November 23rd, next Saturday, is being,
Ring Wars.
Yeah.
What is it, like a sequel to Lord of the Rings?
It's the Hobbits versus the dwarves, and then they bring in the elves. That now you've got our attention. Tell us about Ring Wars.
Ring Wars.
I got to see this.
Ring Wars. It is a professional boxing show at the Coliseum, and it is now being postponed due to an injury suffered by one of the El Paso fighters, Jorge Tovar, who was scheduled to headline the main event. So now they are looking to reschedule for either February or March of 2025. So again, the fights for next Saturday at the Coliseum will be postponed, and just wanted to give that update. And if anybody's purchased a ticket, I'm sure you can go to Ticketmaster and get your money back.
All right. You probably want to tell everybody about the dining deal because we got 30 minutes until this week's dining deal. How many breaks do we have, Joanna? How many we got left?
2 more.
You're gonna have to battle me because I will be in line like everybody else trying to
score one.
Oh,
hell yeah,
yes.
this is one to get.
You better believe it.
Rib Hut.
I'm gonna get one at 10 and just show up at 11 so I can get some food.
Cappy, 90s dollar rib night on Wednesdays at the original Rib Hut on Mesa.
One of the all-time great promotions in the history of El Paso. It was
big ribs,
legendary.
not like not pork ribs, beef ribs for $1.
Oh yeah, they were the greatest. And they still have great promotions. Like I think it's $1.99 barbecue burrito day tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's still great deals.
Yes, but yeah, right. The old days. Yeah, could you imagine how far $50 could get you back if you were?
There was a line getting into that little A-frame cabin. That's the original Rib Hut, and
right.
I would wait in it. And I hate lines,
but you knew what you were getting.
Hell yeah.
So
I should have just said, hey, here's a Benjamin. Give me 100 ribs. But that would have been screwing out everybody else who wanted $1 rib, right?
That would have been a problem. Yeah.
Since the dining deal, though, Buzz and I every day was like, "Do you want to go get some after this?
Right.
Do you want to go get some after this?"
You could have been like Chris Rock. Give me one. One
rib.
One rib. I'm feeling hungry today.
How much for a swallow? What was that movie called again?
That was called I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. And then
and Keenan Ivory Wayans or whatever.
Yep.
He was the star of it.
Keenan Ivory Wayans and Damon Wayans, they were both in that movie, the Wayans brothers. But I remember that in that scene, he wants a swig of Coke, one rib, and then he breaks out 100 and says, "Can you give me change for 100?" And then Jim Brown wants to kill him. Jim Brown and Isaac Hayes, who were running the barbecue
That
restaurant.
might have been the
back
first
in the
thing
day.
Chris Rock was ever in. Before Saturday Night Live.
I think so too. It was great. That movie was one of the you've never seen I'm Gonna Get You Sucker?
Boy, those
one of the greats of all time.
Those Wayans really messed up. Why didn't they snag Chris Rock for In Living Color?
By then, that's a good question. Maybe he was already on SNL. I don't know. But
I don't think so. That movie came out in the 80s.
I thought
I'm
the
Gonna
movie
Get You
came out in
Sucker.
either 88 or 89.
Yeah.
So when did Chris Rock start at SNL?
Not long after that. I think around that time.
Yeah, but
that's
you're
about
right.
all I could say.
You play What If Chris Rock was on In Living Color and not SNL? What would have happened?
Anyway, real quick, for the dining deal at 10 o'clock.
Rib Hut.
We only have 100 of them, so $50 for only $50 value for only $25.
Yes.
As soon as it hits 10 o'clock, go to KLAQ.com, look for the dining deals button, or you could do that on your mobile app, the KLAQ mobile app as well.
Hey, Steve, people are asking, are you going to talk about Del Valle and are you going to talk about Montwood High going to Midland?
All right. Well, first off, there were 4 high school playoff football games last night. Okay, so that's and there's 2 again tonight.
Oh
so
yeah, it's playoff time.
We do
already.
have, and by the way, big win last night for Del Valle. They beat Abilene Cooper 63-35. So how about this?
Yeah, Del Valle.
It's their first by district title since 2020. And they hung 63 on Cooper. That is a big deal. And they are still undefeated. So
where'd they play?
Oh, at Del Valle.
Okay.
So they led 28-7 at the half and then just kept it going. And look, that team is led by they've got a bunch. Jake Fetty, who is committed to Arizona State, he had a 56-yard touchdown pass. And they had this team is loaded, absolutely loaded. Congratulations to Rudy Contreras and Del Valle. And now they're going to play either Lovejoy or Mansfield Timberview in the area round. They play tonight. How about Lovejoy? Would you want to go to a high school? Where are you going? I'm going to go to Lovejoy.
Sure, I love Joy.
That's one way to look at it.
When they play a road game, they all got to take a bus trip like 470 miles away. That's a long way to go for a high school football game, but I guess it's Texas.
Yeah, well,
big state.
That's true. That is true. Unfortunately, Canutillo lost yesterday 38-14, and Lubbock Cooper was the reason for that. And Franklin got hammered.
Lubbock has a Cooper and Abilene has a Cooper?
Yes.
This Cooper guy gets around.
They do.
Football Friday night on ESPN tonight.
600 ESPN El Paso. That's right. We're excited about that. Yes. And also other scores to mention. These are from by district. You ready for some of these scores? Kenyon Randall beat Isleta 71-27. Clint lost to West Plains 42-8. Lubbock Monterey blanked Bel Air 56-0. Abilene High beat Parkland 84-0. God dang. Amarillo Tascosa beat Americas 30-9. And then we talked about the Del Valle win, the Canutillo loss. Franklin lost to Midland Legacy 56-14. By the way, tonight, I'm excited. Odessa Permian's in town. Remember the Mojo back in the day? They're playing East Lake 7
o'clock.
o'clock.
That boy can kick a field goal, catch a pass, and mow your yard.
They're playing at SAC 1. And then at SAC 2, we've got El Dorado and Amarillo High. Now, there's 2 SACs. There's the SAC 1, the original SAC, and now we've got the second SAC, SAC 2, for football games tonight.
This happened yesterday at the weigh-in between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Have you seen this yet?
Oh, yeah.
Tyson just slapped Jake Paul across the chops.
Shouldn't have slapped him. He should have punched him.
Okay.
He should have thrown an actual punch. And
But did you see how fast it was?
This is so,
His hands were fast.
I think the whole thing's fake.
You're not the only one.
I think everybody knew going into that, all right, I'm going to slap you, and then they're going to jump in and break us up real quick.
Most people are saying
it's obvious that this is a con. It's like work.
It's like wrestling.
The romantic in me really hopes it's not.
All right, then look what Jake Paul does. What a troll this guy is. He gets there and he's making gestures about how it was just a love tap. Yeah, that's what it was drawn up to be, dude. Here is Jake Paul reacting after Mike Tyson slapped him.
He's angry. He's an angry little elf. Mike Tyson, I thought that was a cute slap, buddy, but tomorrow you're getting knocked the out.
Scripted. The whole thing seems scripted.
I'm f***ing him up, Burial. I'm f***ing him up.
Oh, man, Tyson is a good actor.
Cute slap, buddy, but tomorrow you're getting knocked the out. I'm f***ing him up, Burial. I'm f***ing him up. He hits like a It's personal now. It's personal now. He must die.
That was the great. Who was that? That was Jake Paul screaming, "He must die!" at the end of it. That part was hilarious.
Okay, well that is pretty dramatic.
So dumb.
It is. Look, here's
Jake
the thing.
Paul talked about his mom being worried for him.
He's a killer, and has all the power still clearly in all the videos, all the sparring that he's showing, dropping his sparring partners. My mom is messaging. She can't even watch Tyson punch. Right. She won't watch it because it scares her. And he has one of the deadliest uppercuts of all time. So, of course, I have to be ready.
Right. Do you want to hear what somebody called in? They got a question about,
let's hear
a comment about the fight.
Sure.
I have a question. Yesterday, if you Googled who won the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight, Google will tell you that the fight was happening today, but that the fight was won by Jake Paul by unanimous decision in the 10th round. Yeah, I don't know how that goes. Scripted, not scripted. What do you guys think of that?
I don't know. Is it true?
No, it doesn't make sense because there's only 8 rounds.
Yeah, it can only go 8. It can't go 10. It can only go 8 rounds.
So where are you getting this information? You Google it, and it supposedly tells you the outcome of the fight before it happens?
Today, but that the fight was won by Jake Paul by unanimous decision in the 10th round.
All right,
Yeah,
I
but
just,
it's only
I
8
just
rounds.
Googled.
Yeah.
Who won the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight, and the answer is, as it says, it's happening tonight.
Yeah.
There is no 10th round.
But so I just want to be clear. I'm going to watch this. I'm having friends over.
Although
I don't believe it for a second.
Here's one thing though, on social media, they said a fake script of the Tyson fight with Jake Paul is circulating around social media.
A what?
Fake script. So, and this is how the script claims it's going to play out. All right. So they're already, like it already says, round 1. The opening bell rings and Tyson showing flashes of his old
you know
form.
what? Probably the AI found that and
Immediately-
hallucinated the results.
It sounds like it does. It is AI, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what they're saying. So, but they're saying that the fight will go. Let me see if it ends in 8 or how that goes. Because I'm looking right now at the, how long this fight's going to go. It might end in it ends in 5. It says that Jake Paul wins by knockout in round 5.
There's
So that's
no way that Mike Tyson lets himself get knocked out.
I don't know. It depends. He could be getting such a huge payday that I don't know what's going on in Mike's life. I know that he's got his.
He's doing
got his
super well
cannabis-
for himself.
Right. Would Mike Tyson need the money so much that he would
Tell
let
me-
an internet influencer knock him out?
Tell me you watched the video of Mike Tyson being interviewed by a 12-year-old
I was
girl.
trying to bring it up right now for Buzz, but I couldn't get it.
Well, I can get it, but it's not edited.
Right, because he's asking
there's an
who
F word in there.
It's about who gets more women. Is that not that one?
No.
So there's this
12-year-old
super famous journalist. She's 12 years old, and she has now interviewed all the biggest stars.
Really?
Yeah.
She's like a younger version
So-
of Lane Frank.
Okay, so
She did this interview with
what
Mike Tyson, and he talks about. She's like, "What do you want your legacy to be?" And he's like, "What are you talking about legacy? What is that? I don't even think about that.
he doesn't believe in
I don't think
legacies.
legacy. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
We don't turn to dust. Who cares what you think about it afterwards?"
Yeah,
Did he
essentially
freak the
that's
little
it.
girl out?
He kind of sounded like super existential, and she's like, "Well, thank you for sharing that. I've never been told that before."
And then he dropped an F-bomb right in her. And yes.
We all gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna be
die. You're gonna be dusting
on all your prep services, you don't have that clip of Mike Tyson talking about his legacy in anywhere?
I never saw
No,
it.
it's
You
not.
guys
It's
are
not.
telling me.
Well, you know what? Hold on. Maybe it's on Dr.
Nah,
Dave.
it's not.
It's on Dave.
No, I would have seen it.
I was hoping you would see it. It was great.
Okay,
I
but
watched that last night. And that was also very
to the
entertaining.
caller, it looks like you have been kind of hoaxed
You know
by
what?
the internet. But in principle, I agree. I think there's probably this is a big show, and the outcome is probably predetermined. Don't gamble on this, folks.
Let me say this about tonight, okay? We watch professional wrestling.
Right. So it's going to be like that.
Let me explain why. We already have a really good idea before the match of who's going to win. But the reason we watch professional wrestling is we know that it's going to be entertainment from the opening bell till the last pinfall or submission. This could be the same thing. Like, the winner is most likely predetermined. As long as these two put on a great show before either Jake Paul wins or something like that, then I think people will be okay with that. And that's going to be the interesting thing is, are they really going to hit each other? And I want to see if, now they're using 14-ounce gloves.
Which are heavier.
And there's a lot more padding. So
Right.
when
So
Tyson
the hits
connects,
won't be as hard.
Exactly. Exactly. But
Hi, everyone. Cappy, why is Mike Tyson wearing panties? Y'all have a great weekend.
Okay, so she's talking about the slap. Yeah, I've seen this at weigh-in. Some guys just come down out there, they're in their underwear because you gotta strip down.
Yeah, he's always been in his underwear.
He's always been in his panties.
Yes.
Boy, that is confidence.
And by the way, can we say one thing? Can we say one thing about Mike Tyson? For a 58-year-old, he looks really, really good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Guys,
he is in world-class shape.
Can I just tell you, I'm watching right now a compilation of Mike Tyson's knockouts, which there's 44 of them.
Yes.
Bam. Just
what a fast hand.
Yeah.
Like that hand comes out of nowhere and just stuns people.
That's why Mike Tyson is still that's why the aura of greatness surrounds him at 58. Just like Tiger Woods, same exact thing. Okay. You realize just how great he was for so many folks.
Is there a movie about his life where he came from the streets and he was fighting on the streets?
Yeah, Customato rescued him. That's why he was a troubled kid. Yes.
Oh yeah,
in Brooklyn.
He came from Hell's Kitchen or something.
No, he came from a really, really bad part of Brooklyn.
Bad part of Brooklyn. It's probably been gentrified since then.
Yeah, it's probably a coffee shop.
There you go. That's why he's wearing panties. Real quick, El Paso Times.
Probably Brownsville was the Brooklyn area he was in. So yes, go ahead.
So the Netflix broadcast begins El Paso Times 6 o'clock.
And by the way,
when do you expect the main event to come around?
Around 9. I would say 9 o'clock.
So 3 hours with 2 fights on the undercard.
No, there could be more. There could be more than 2. There's 2
you think so?
championship fights on the undercard. There could be 4 total fights. I haven't seen the card yet. See how it's going to go. It's from AT&T Stadium, by the way. It's in Jerry World tonight.
Oh, cool.
So I guess the Cowboys are going to lose this one too?
Yes.
Also, no drug testing.
No, and by the way, everybody's talking about how right now Jake Paul looks like he's on roids.
He is. He's completely on roids, dude. There's no way he's not on roids.
And Tyson isn't?
No, Tyson just right now, isn't he all about
healthiness,
weed and mushrooms? And isn't that what he's talked about? Is that he's just completely on
toad
narcotics?
venom, although the toad venom.
It makes sense why his voice is so high if he was on testosterone.
Tonight, Netflix takes you in the ring for the main event. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. But don't miss the undercard with more fights between boxing legends and YouTube stars like George Foreman versus the I Like Turtles kid.
I like turtles.
Manny Pacquiao versus the Chocolate Rain guy. Chocolate Rain. Sugar Ray Leonard versus the Grape Stop lady. And Vander Holyfield versus the Dramatic Chipmunk. Don't miss it.
Hey, it's Double G. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, all
first to know when new grants for email updates at texasvehiclegrants.org. That's texasvehiclegrants.org.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers. At GVILaw.com.
All right, Cappy has stuck around. We got a couple of last notes and some calls about the Tyson-Jake Paul fight tonight. If you got Netflix, it's free.
Well,
right?
it's included with your subscription.
With your subscription,
there
right.
you go. They have 282 million subscribers, by the way.
The El Paso Times is listing all the local places that are going to be showing the fight. They're treating it like not just a sporting event, a big sporting
like a pay-per-view,
event, like a world's Super Bowl. Almost.
Could be the most watched boxing event in many, many years.
All right, so Steve brought something out. There's one way to get yourself kicked out of Madison Square. Well, there are probably many ways to get yourself kicked out of Madison Square Garden. But Steve wants me to play this so Joanna can see it. So Steve set it up, and then I got the clip ready for Joanna.
Okay. Couple nights ago, Joanna, the New York Knicks were playing the Chicago Bulls, and one of the most popular parts of the Garden experience is the Kiss Cam.
Kiss Cam.
Wait, full screen it.
The Kiss Cam.
Yeah, take a look at what happened here with this Knick fan and I guess his girlfriend or wife on the Kiss Cam.
Okay.
There's no audio.
He shoves her head down to his crotch.
She goes in for a hug, and he just pushes his head down in her lap.
It's an experience I'm sure many women have.
She's laughing.
Wait,
she's acting like it's hilarious, so I guess everything's cool
that's
there.
Kosher.
But did they get kicked out? Or?
No, the fans loved them. They're now sensations on social media as a result.
These are true Knicks fans.
These are the inheritors of Haktua Girl's legacy.
That's right. That is right.
Hey, Steve, what happened this past week when one of the stars from Game of Thrones was watching a basketball game? Did you see this?
No.
And I guess one of the basketball players looked in the front row, and it's the guy that loses his hand, Jamie Lannister.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
Nicholas Caggiula.
Yeah, he was watching on the front row, and then the basketball player stops and was like, Jamie Lannister?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Hey, by the way, if you're not able to see the fight tonight anywhere, stream East, and you'll be able to enjoy that and check that out.
Stream East?
Yes.
What does that mean?
You can get everything for sports. on
Somebody
Stream
out there will
East.
understand. Don't bother explaining to
Yes.
us.
All I can tell you is
Hey, you guys-
just Google it. Yes.
Hey, you guys, who would win in a fight when both fighters are in their prime? George Foreman or Mike Tyson?
You know, I think a lot of people remember George Foreman as the
Happy
grill
old guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
happy
grill
old
guy.
guy.
The sitcom star. He was a bad man when he was a boxer. He was the heavy. I mean, people were fearful of George Foreman in his prime.
Let me say this. There were three fighters in that era, George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, and Joe Frazier, that were at the top of the heavyweight division. And most people don't realize this, but George Foreman, when he was young in the early 70s, was as tough as it gets. That being said...
badass.
Yes. That being said, I still take prime peak Mike Tyson over all of them.
Over George Foreman, Ali, and Frazier. What about this? What about a peak Mike Tyson versus peak Rocky Marciano?
Wait, was
Marciano was
Rocky
not
Marciano was not a heavyweight?
He was not a heavyweight.
He'd be squished like a bug.
Oh,
yeah. You could say
he beat Joe Louis.
Yep, you could say Joe Louis. That's right.
We do a lot of movie references on this show.
I
wonder
like that.
Do most people get them, do you think?
I think so.
Someone out there will get it.
Yeah, somebody.
Hey, did you ever get a chance to play the clip of Tyson talking to this
If the
12-year-old?
man wants to be known as Muhammad Ali, you should call him Muhammad Ali.
Do you want to hear the clip of the girl?
Yeah, this is the 12-year-old sports reporter.
Yes.
Who I am told is famous. And this was her. She asked, like a little kid question for Mike Tyson, and he gets super metaphysical on her. And I can tell she's fearful.
You can follow her at Jazzy's World TV at Instagram. Oh, no.
What happened?
Has it been deactivated?
No. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I can get it here. Okay. Yeah, just pop me up.
Opportunity for kids my age to see the legend Mike Tyson in the ring for the first time. So after such a successful career, what type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Man, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. Legacy doesn't mean nothing. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Someone said that word and everyone grabbed on the word, so now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. Who cares about legacy after that?
Hey, listen.
With a big ego, so I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing.
Oh, my God.
Our legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
Well, thank you so much for that. He
And
just,
then,
like,
listen, we had to cut it because he uses
The
some
F word
words,
later on.
but it gets even more insane in the seconds following that.
She's all like, sir, I'm like 12.
Well, the dust in the wind.
I thought she was great by being so polite. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I thought that was
Oh,
great.
she goes, nobody's ever told me that before.
She is a professional. She's a
is.
professional. All right, Jazzy's World, whatever it is. Okay.
Jazzy's World TV.
Comedy tonight?
Tonight, come on out to Scenics Bar and Kitchen for the best time in open mics. It's a local show. You can see local performers, but you also see professional comics working out their craft and their material. Starts at 9:30, 4130 North Mesa. Scenics. See you there.
Don't forget, Darren Carter was in earlier along with Brian Swinehart. You can see both of them at the comic strip this weekend with shows on Friday and Saturday. Did we decide about Sunday?
And Sunday, but it might be a private show.
All right. So have a great weekend.
Can I mention one thing?
Yep.
You can see Joanna tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I can see her now.
And she'll be at the Mattress Firm at 7840 Picacho Hills Court. So
yes, thank you.
go say hi to Joanna and be part of the Black Friday sale at Mattress Firm.
All right.
All right. Dining Deal is going to be live in just a couple of minutes, folks. It's not going to be long now.
Thank you, America. That's our show. That was a great show.
Great, man.
That was so much fun. I don't know why people say this show is terrible.
Be interesting to find out what went wrong there, but that's a whole other show. It's the end of the show.
It's an awesome awesome show.
That is our show for today.
Well, that's our show for today.
Well, it was a fun day, though, wasn't it? See you tomorrow.
Thanks for being here today.
Adios.
Great show, everybody. Great show.
Well, that's it. Show's over. What? We just started.
Yeah, well, the show's over.
That's the end.
That's not the end.
Why, yes, it is. Right. That's the end.
And that's the end. That's the end.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show will be back Monday morning.
Hello, everybody. It's so